Today's game on KFJB-TV is sponsored by First Rate Real Estate, Adland Engraving and Screen Print Company, Assured Partners, Brown's Shoe Fit, Central State Bank, your Marshalltown Dairy Queens, Eye Care Associates, Hy-Vee Marshalltown, Legends American Grill, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, Marshalltown School District, McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, Sandvik Enterprises, Scooters, Marshalltown, Sports Plus, State Farm, Tyler Pashong Agency, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors. Down to the field with Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze.
Bobcat Game Day live from Waukee. It's week number 6 of the high school football season. I'm Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside me. We get you ready for tonight's battle between the Warriors and the Bobcats. Bobcats coming off a big loss at home to the Kennedy Cougars. How do you bounce back after a game like that tonight?
Well, and that was the big thing, is there was zero juice from the Cats on the sideline. A couple things didn't go their way in the first quarter, and they seemed to really pack it in and go home. But talking to Coach last night on Bobcat Live, he said they put together some of the best practices they've had all last year. So really, it comes down to you got to want it. You cannot pack things up when things go wrong, because it's going to happen. Some play's going to go against you tonight. You've got to have resiliency. You've got to bring the juice, because there's no crowd to bring it for you. There's nobody that's going to do it for you. Cats have to be prepared and on the prowl.
And despite for rushing under 100 yards last week, this is still the second best rushing team in the state. What does that say about this ground game?
The ground game is good. It should be good. Ground games should travel. And here you go. It really comes down to getting that opportunity, reading it right. Coach talked a lot about it, is they were just off. They overthought the defensive nuances that Kennedy brought with that rover, that hybrid. Tonight is a pretty simple, straightforward 4-3 defense that I think the Cats might feel a little bit more comfortable in their blocking scheme.
I've been calling Bobcat games since 2019, and last week was the biggest roller coaster I think I've ever seen the Bobcats go through. I think that also aided into that lack of juice last week. I mean, you start out the game, you give up a touchdown, then you go down, it looks like you're going to score a touchdown. You get helped out with 40 yards of penalties. You throw a pick in the end zone. They go down and score. Then you come back, you return the kickoff for a touchdown, but it's called back on a penalty. They score 14-0 at that point. Then you turn it over. It's 21-0 right out of the gate. I mean, that can be so deflating. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, you get all those things and everything seems to be rolling down on you, and then you have 280-pound athletic young men hitting you in the face. And I think that really being hit over and over hurts a lot more when you're down 3 scores, and it really felt like it avalanched after a couple of those things. The phantom holding call, I've seen the replay quite a few times, wasn't there, but the Cats have to be able to keep their head up and keep focused and motivated even when bad things happen.
Well, this ground game of Waukee is probably their strength coming into this one, although they have a returning quarterback, a senior in Baker this year that, can probably kind of navigate the waters. He's thrown a few picks this year. That'll be the key tonight. Can the Bobcats not only not turn it over, but can they force some turnovers on the other side of things?
Yeah, and really with that run game, if Waukee's going to be able to run it effectively, that may spell doom for the Cats, because last week Kennedy in that three-man front, they didn't have to chip a defensive lineman all night long, so you had two offensive linemen hitting linebackers on almost full sprints, and that just blew them up, and Kennedy was able to run up and down. Now, if the Cats can bottle them up there and force Baker to throw the ball, he's thrown 7 picks already, is a chance for the Cats to get one out of the air, because I think that's going to be the tail of the tape. Yep. Can the Cats create turnovers for themselves?
Yeah, that is for sure. Coming up on Bobcat Game Day Live, we'll preview East Marshall and West Marshall, and we'll preview our game tonight. We'll get a player spotlight coming up in a little bit. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Brown Shoe Fit has a great selection of athletic footwear. Choose from New Balance, On, Keen, Echo, and much more. Brown Shoe Fit can find the right shoe for every occasion for both men and women, including dress shoes, casual shoes, work boots, and European footwear, carrying multiple sizes and widths to ensure the best fit for you. Their expert-friendly staff is available to give you a personalized experience and can find the right shoes for what you need. Brown Shoe Fit, downtown Marshalltown. With you every step of the way.
Bobcat Game Day Live.
Now time for our East Marshall preview, all brought to you by Sheer Envy and Gilman. If you're looking for a hometown salon that does it all, from haircuts to colors, nails, and more, Sheer Envy and Gilman has you covered. All right, for the lower classes, there are only a couple more weeks of the football season before playoff action starts. Big night for East Marshall tonight.
Yeah, huge night, homecoming night, my 25th high school reunion tomorrow. Big things happening in East Marshall. But last week, they got back on the right side. They had lost 2 heartbreakers to top 10 teams. Last week, they got Midland. Their football field's on the county fairgrounds. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of scoring for the Mustangs. Jackson Boswell, 13 of 14 through the air, 250 yards. Eli Burns had 160 yards receiving. They ran up and down the field on him. Tonight, they get East Buchanan. East Buchanan and East Marshall kind of mirror each other. They're throw first. They're going to throw it around, and they'll run it as a supplement. My guess is it's really going to come down to the defense, and I really like the senior Wyatt Stalzer for the East Marshall Mustangs. Leads them in tackles, leads them on that side of the football. It's a new defense they brought in this year. They seem to be getting more and more comfortable in that scheme. I believe East Marshall gets another win to try to bolster their playoff resume to go 4-2. Big night, and whenever it's homecoming, you've got a lot of stuff going on. We saw West Marshall stumble. We saw the Bobcats stumble. If East Marshall can get past the pageantry, I think they get win number 4 tonight.
East Buchanan Buccaneers, right?
Yes, they are.
Yes, down there in southwest Iowa.
But no Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I know that. That is our East Marshall preview. Again, all brought to you by Sheer Envy and Gilman. West Marshall will preview their matchup tonight for the Trojans when we come back on KFJB-TV.
Ready for a new look? At Sheer Envy and Gilman, you'll find everything you need to feel your best. From women's, men's, and children's haircuts to hair coloring, perms, facial waxing, spray tanning, manicures, and pedicures. Sheer Envy does it all. Whether it's a quick trim, a bold new style, or a little pampering, Jen has you covered. Call today to book your appointment at 641-498-2426. Sheer Envy and Gilman, because confidence starts with great style.
Fall is officially delicious at your Marshalltown Dairy Queens. Try the all-new Maple Cookie Shake, sweet, creamy, or dive into the ultimate duo, the Oreo Reese's Blizzard Treat. 2 icons, 1 cup, pure magic. Craving pumpkin spice everything? The Pumpkin Pie Blizzard Treat is back, loaded with real pumpkin pie pieces and topped with whipped cream and nutmeg. Or keep the summer vibes going with the Choco Dip Strawberry Blizzard Treat. A vacation in every bite. Hurry in. These fall flavors won't last forever. Happy tastes good at your Marshalltown Dairy Queens.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is powered by State Farm, Tyler Pichong Agency, mtownproud.com, Wayward Social, the place for bowling, games, food, and more. And Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, helping you pursue your financial goals.
Our West Marshall preview tonight, all brought to you by Ethington Heating and Cooling. They're not comfortable until you are. What's better, Dylan? Taking a panoramic shot or watching panorama football?
It depends if you're a panorama fan, because if you are, it might be a panoramic view of the sunset. They're 1-3 this year, and really for West Marshall, I think tonight comes down to who is West Marshall. Walked into work today, a coworker was wearing a T-shirt that says West Marshall is the best Marshall. I disagree with that, but I do believe West Marshall can be pretty good tonight. Last week, Toby McGuire and friends from Pleasantville beat them up 28-14, and it really comes down to, we talked about Three Musketeers last week. Can they find that third person? They couldn't find their pass game last week. Blake Hart went 3 of 9 in the pass game, 37 yards. He did run for over 200 yards, but they could only muster 2 touchdowns, losing 28-14. And I really believe the key for West Marshall tonight is they've got a very young defense. They've got a foursome of underclassmen, freshmen and sophomores. Dalton Eldridge leads them in tackles. He's a sophomore. Joe Kielman's a freshman. Turner DeRosset, Drake Whitaker, all sophomores and freshmen that are 4 of their leading tacklers. I believe they're going to bounce back against, a team that may be outmatched. West Marshall does have to travel for this, but it may be just a perfect remedy. Allow that defense, that young defense, to just go hit somebody and see if Blake Hart can find Kenneth Gears and maybe be able to find more on that offensive side. Because I think West Marshall's going to make the playoffs, but I feel like they've got to take some steps up in their offense, especially diversifying that offense to be able to get where they need to go. Panorama's a great opportunity to get that started.
That is our West Marshall preview, all brought to you by Ethington Heating and Cooling in Marshalltown. They're not comfortable until you are. I feel like I'm getting ready to testify before Congress. Yes, I do swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth as you're holding that. You do actually have information on there.
I do have notes on here. It is Linus's blanket out here. It's my tablet. And I do just walk around having people, I think people are lying to me, so I make them swear on this so I know I can trust them.
Coming up, it is our player spotlight. It's the Warriors and the Bobcats coming up right here on KFJB-TV.
For 30 years, you've heard Ethington Heating and Cooling say they aren't comfortable until you are, and they mean it even more today than they did then. Ethington Heating and Cooling has provided Central Iowa with the industry's best equipment while delivering premier service and quality installation by a knowledgeable staff. From repairs and services to an entirely new system, Ethington Heating and Cooling does it all. A proud Lennox dealer as well as Trane, GeoComfort, and Mitsubishi. 641-753-5525. Ethington Heating and Cooling. They aren't comfortable until you are.
YMCC? Competitive athletics. Affordable tuition. On-campus living. Online courses plus 2 campus locations. Unique programs. Career training. Small classes. Short-term hands-on training. Choose MCC.
Bobcat Game Day Live.
Welcome back to Waukee High School as the Bobcats getting warmed up for tonight's broadcast against the Waukee Warriors. By the way, I don't know if we got our guy Elijah up there. If he can get, for some reason, there's an Ottumwa Bulldog bus here tonight. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but we saw that before this one. Did they make a wrong turn? Or
my guess is we don't get to travel down there. They miss us. They know we're the best team in the state broadcasting. They just want to get a little bit of that KFJB-TV rub.
All right, let's get our player spotlight here tonight, starting off with J.J. Schoenfelder, number 32 for the Marshalltown Bobcats. He was injured against Waterloo West in the Unidome on a long run where he ended up fumbling. He had a tackle from behind. finally last week he put together one of his better games of the season. Had a fumble recovery, had 4.5 total tackles. It's a good thing to have him back there at the linebacker spot full-time for all the football game here tonight.
And for me, what I love about JJ, he's a very smart kid, not just academically but on the field, understands things, and he plays hard. There is nothing that he doesn't do. He'll go instinctively to the football, and I think against a bigger Waukee squad, you've got to have linebackers that are game to compete, and J.J. Schoenfelder is always game to compete.
Bobcats taking the field right now, and another guy out there on the field getting warmed up is Jamison Niehaus, number 1. He was responsible for a couple of fumbles in handoffs that didn't go the way intended for Tyler England, and then 2 picks last week. You know, that's a tough game. You know, you always hear, even at the NFL level, you got to flush it and move on to the next play. It's tough when the game is going like that. How do you hit the reset button, especially at the high school level when things just aren't stacking up your way?
And I really think it's get a big play early. Not saying he's going to launch it out, but be able to pick up a couple first downs, be able to establish a little bit of the run game, because he just seems sped up the last couple of weeks. He's fumbled the football half a dozen times, thrown a couple picks. Those turnovers have really started to pile on, and it feels like he's just rushing everything. Like everything, he's in his own head, and I think it comes down to call your own name once or twice. You know, be able to get out in some space, get a run in under your belt. Do some things like that. I anticipate that Coach Goodman probably won't go to a big pass early. He talked about that in the postgame last week. He thought he pressed too much early on that drive where Jamison threw a pick. So I'd anticipate a lot of opportunities to get himself in space, get a few yards, hand it off to Tyler England. Not a bad deal if you have a 600-yard rusher behind you that you can hand it off to.
Plus, we see Angra Pramana back in the starting lineup. He's battled some injuries. Good to see the senior back out there, because he really was a bright spot last year at that corner spot. He made some great plays, especially looking back at Newton, where he had that strip of the wide receiver for a fumble recovery. And he's one of those leaders out there, too, that the Bobcats count on.
Well, and I think especially from that defensive back position, one of the things we struggled with all year long is almost waiting for the receiver to come or the running back to come to us to tackle them. There isn't that meet them at the point of attack. Anga will always meet you at the point of attack. He does not wait for you to tackle him. He's going to come after you. And I think the Bobcats would do well if they followed that senior leadership.
Giles Smith, the other corner, he's got a little bit of that in him as well, too. We've seen a couple fumble recoveries this year out of him. He's been a really bright spot there, too.
And he's making some more and more plays. He makes some of those sophomore mistakes where you can see maybe out of position, maybe doesn't make that first play. But what I have seen watching him is even if he messes up on that first initial, he'll get back into the play later. There's a reason why they're high on Giles Smith, and I think he'll be a great player for years to come for the Cats.
Looking forward to this one coming up. It is Waukee and Marshalltown continuing on Bobcat Game Day Live, our Cat Connection, all brought to you by Tyler Pashong Agency, State Farm, mtownproud.com, plus our pregame chat with head coach Adam Goodman. You're locked into Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
Preschool to graduation day, Marshalltown Community School District prepares students for success in a global world. Embrace the lead with curriculum that prepares students for tomorrow's challenges, giving your child unmatched college and career advantages. Embrace the lead by developing talents beyond the classroom through extracurricular opportunities and by focusing on student well-being and whole child development. Create a global learning community right here in Marshalltown. Learn more at marshalltown.k12.ia.us.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown. With their extensive inventory, you're sure to make a winning selection when you shop McGregor's for your bedroom, living room, and dining room furnishings. McGregor's has the right play for every room in your home. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is proud to be your locally owned and operated furniture store since 1896 and very proud to support Bobcat Athletics again this season. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
At the end of tonight's action, just 2 weeks will remain in the high school regular season for the smallest classes, and district races are heating up. That includes 8-player District 4, where 6th-ranked Easton Valley hosts number 7 Edgewood Colesburg. Gary Detterman has a preview.
Both teams sit at 5-0 and in the top 10. We asked Easton Valley head coach Derek Irwin if this will be the first true test of the season for both teams.
I think we've played some pretty good teams, the both of us. Springville, I know we talked about them when we came in. That's a really good ball club. And that's a common opponent for us that we both were able to take care of, obviously, with the 5-0 records. But that's a good team. And, there's other good teams in this district, Key High and Elkader, which neither of us have played. But, there's a lot of competition, and we're just both fortunate that we're at the 5-0 point in this point in the season.
Edco is led by one of their younger players.
And they've got a stud behind center. He's got a good arm. He's got good legs. He's only a sophomore, but he's got good size. And he's kind of led their team so far to their start. And if we can, the key is to bottle him up and make sure that he's not beating you.
Edgewood Colesburg at Easton Valley, a game that is important for both squads with the playoffs just 3 weeks away. For the Radio Iowa Scouting Report, Gary Detterman, KROS Clinton.
8-player top-ranked Bishop Garrigan visits North Union. It's number 3 Gladbrook Rhinebeck at Collins Maxwell. 4th-ranked Woodbine is at home against Coon Rapids Bayard. Class A, top-ranked West Hancock visits Sibley Ocheyedan. Number 2 St. Ansgar is at home against Postville. 3rd-ranked MMC-RU visits Galen Catholic. 1A, top-ranked Grundy Center puts a 44-game win streak on the line by hosting number 4 South Hardin. John Mowinkle reports.
Each team has won all its games by multiple scores, with neither team giving up more than 16 points to any opponent. Grundy Center coach Travis Zajac says he hopes his team gains an advantage in the trenches.
Our offensive line continues to trend upward. We had make some adjustments this last week based upon some of Clarion's personnel, and I thought that we did a really good job of handling that kind of from a scheme and communication standpoint. And it's taken those lessons and again taking another step forward this week.
Spartan quarterback Judd Jarofsky and Tiger quarterback Peyton Welch have each made a name for themselves in Class 1A, being named to many Player of the Year watch lists. South Hardin coach Nick Eller says he feels his skill position players match up well with Grundy Centers, and they'll need to eliminate some mistakes made when the teams met last year.
We've got a lot of weapons. They do too, but I think we got just as many, and we've got to use them all. There's no doubt. It can't just be, Sam Benson show. It can't just be a Cam Adams show. It's got to be by committee and everyone chipping in and keeping their defense honest. And nothing surprising there, but we've got to keep playing like we have been, where we're using everybody, getting everybody the ball, and just play our style of football.
The winner will gain sole possession of first place in 1A District 3.
1A second-ranked West Lyon visits Ridgeview. It's number 3 Regina Catholic at Sigourney-Keota. This season, Becks is recognizing student-athletes that are not only a star in athletics, but a player that shows heart in school, at work, through the community, and in the ag industry. Logan Gardner of Eddyville-Blakesburg Fremont says growing up on a 6th-generation farm has helped him in the sport of football.
Learning how to grow up and change, it just helps mature faster and learn how to do a job right, or things may go wrong, which is what kind of helps athletes on the field, because if one person messes up, then the whole team messes up.
Creston's Cadley Bailey started her own cattle herd with her sisters at the age of 8 and says the lessons learned have helped her in athletics.
I know that cows have to be chored at a certain time every day, same with practice. So I guess it really is time management that I've learned with my herd. I have to be somewhere at a specific time. Besides his work on the family farm, Bishop Garrigan's Carter Schwab is a rare 5-sport athlete.
The only 2 sports that really have conflict is track and golf, and the meets don't conflict very much. Maybe one, and if the one coach needs me more, I'll just go there, but I just flip-flop practices every other day.
Besides being a 3-sport athlete, Alexa Betting from Nevada is busy in school activities and helps set up service projects for Key Club.
One of the ones, for example, that we brought last year was hygiene bags for shelters around Ames and Nevada. So everyone from the club brings in like a couple items, like the toothbrush, sunscreen, socks, stuff like that.
Nominate a student athlete by searching Becks Player with Heart. The rest of Week 6 is next on the Scouting Report.
At Becks, we believe that true champions are not just made on the field, but also in the heart. The Becks Player with Heart Scholarship celebrates high school student athletes who show dedication, teamwork, and leadership, both in sports and in their communities. We're honoring those who go above and beyond, demonstrating passion, perseverance, and a commitment to making a difference. Nominate a high school student athlete by searching Becks Player with Heart.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
5 of the teams in a loaded Class 3A District 1 have appeared in the Radio Iowa poll at some point this season, and 2 of them collide tonight as 7th-ranked MOC Floyd Valley visits number 3 Bishop Heelan. Doug Brook has a preview.
Both teams started district play with wins over ranked opponents last week. MOC Floyd Valley coach Grant Hagstead says Heelan's offense goes through running back Cason Thomas, and the Dutch have to make him earn every yard.
It requires 11 guys to get to the football every single play because rarely will he go down on first contact. And it's oftentimes his second, third effort, maybe in that rushing attack, that allows him to spring loose for one. And so we believe, if we can keep him in tight confines and if we can team tackle together, it's certainly one that helps slow down the rate at which he can attack.
MOC Floyd Valley's Dylan Mosdem leads the district in rushing. Heelan coach John LaFleur talked about the challenge of containing the Dutch ground game.
Obviously have the state leader and Mosdem kid rushing in our class. He's gonna be a handful. He'll be our toughest opponent yet running the football.
Both teams come in at 4-1 overall and 1-0 in district play. For the Radio Iowa Scouting Report, I'm Doug Brook.
Also in Class 3A tonight, it's top-ranked Clear Lake hosting Benton, while number 2 Solon is at home against Keokuk. In 4A, second-ranked Pella is at home to host number 7 Newton. This game will pit a Newton offense that averages 270 yards of rushing per game against a Pella defense that has only given up 28 points in a 5-0 start. Newton coach Andy Swedenjelm says Pella will counter with an offense that wants to play ball control.
They've done a nice job of controlling the clock. Making sure that they, chunk plays together consistently and just keep solidly moving the ball. And so, our goal is to try to disrupt that timing this week.
4A, top-ranked Cedar Rapids Xavier hosts Waverly Shell Rockets, number 3 Sergeant Bluff Luton at home against Storm Lake. In Class 5A, second-ranked West Des Moines Valley is at home against an Ankeny Centennial team looking to play its way back into the Radio Iowa top 10. Dar Danielson will call the game for the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Valley's only loss is by 3 points to top-ranked Waukee Northwest, and Centennial has losses to crosstown rival Ankeny and defending champion Southeast Polk. Valley coach Gary Swenson says September's behind us and winning in November for playoff positioning is now important.
If you look at the 2 teams that beat them, they're teams that could easily end up in the Unidome for that semifinal round and maybe even in the championship game. So I don't know how much stock you have to put into a record to date.
Swenson says they need to stop the Jaguars' ground game that uses a lot of motion and misdirection. Centennial co-coach Ryan Pizzetti says getting their running game going will be key for them, as well as stopping Valley's run game and not giving the Tigers easy opportunities with turnovers. Radio Iowa Sports, I'm Dar Danielson.
There's one rated matchup in 5A. It finds 4th-ranked Ankeny hosting number 5 Johnston. Top-ranked Waukee Northwest hosts Ottumwa. It's number 3 Dowling Catholic at Cedar Rapids Kennedy. A key matchup in Class 2A District 5 finds unbeaten Bellevue visiting number 9 Alburnett. Bellevue co-coach Matt Yeager feels the Comets are ready for the challenge.
We knew they were going to be a strong team. We knew kind of their reputation, and we're looking forward to it, and it's, you're going on the road and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's definitely a week where we're going to find out what we're made of for sure.
2A, top-ranked Kemper Catholic hosts Spirit Lake. It's number 2 Osage at home against Waukon, while 3rd-ranked PCM is at home against Albia. That's all for the Scouting Report. For Radio Iowa Sports, I'm Todd Kim.
Rainbow Car Wash has been in town over 40 years. New owners Brett and Kim Kennedy have been with Rainbow for more than 35 years, focusing on quality, cleanliness, and great customer service. Open 24 hours year-round with 2 convenient locations. Each location has 2 oversized truck bays to accommodate large vehicles. All bays accept quarters. And for your convenience, newly installed credit, debit, Apple Pay, and Samsung Pay featuring Swiper Tap to Pay, powerful vacuums, and a great selection of vending supplies. Follow us on Facebook at Rainbow Car Wash, LLC.
The Cat Connection, powered by State Farm, mtownproud.com.
It is our Cat Connection, all brought to you by Tyler Prashong, State Farm Agency, mtownproud.com, here with Logan Hoffman for the Marshalltown Bobcat football program. Logan, we've seen you implemented into the starting lineup at that safety spot last 3 weeks, leading the Bobcats in tackling. Last week, I called you the most interested man in going after somebody out there on the football field. Did that injury last year kind of motivate you a little bit more? Because, man, you seem to be flying around and really making those plays.
Yeah, like I've seen in a few of your videos, it's kind of a comeback story for me because last year was a big year for me. I think I was going to be starting at receiver and working my way up for safety, and then that injury kind of took me out. So then through the summer, I decided I'd play again this year, and so it's been a big goal for me to get to that starting spot.
Well, we appreciate you for watching, and I'm imagining you're subscribed and like and all that kind of stuff, right, on our YouTube channel?
Yep, I rewatch every game right after every Friday. I watch the whole 3 hours.
Well, we appreciate that. And of course, as you know, it's a great comeback story because I know talking to you last year, you were a little bit disappointed in how it kind of robbed your season, but you've battled back and made it count for this senior season. Tell me a little bit about that process and coming back from an injury. We've talked to some other players like Jackson Bowie in the past and Xavier Anderson who have had to kind of go down that road. What is it like? What was it like for you and to go through that recovery process?
Well, so for me, it was kind of like what I'd say a dark path because sports has always been my drive through school. I've played soccer and football year round, soccer always, and then football has always been that sport that's just, you get that opportunity one time a season, so it's a big deal. So the whole recovery process and deciding whether I'd play again or not was a big road to victory to get back to here. So
Yeah, that's pretty good. Do you think going through that injury made you really appreciate the opportunity you have this season a little bit more?
Yeah, actually, it really did. It makes you really aware of the opportunities you have around you, and the guys like our team is a big family. Yeah. Like usually, I try to sit back and chill. I don't try to be the big hype guy until I have to. But having that injury brings everyone together, and it's brought me more excitement.
Yeah, that is for sure. Juan Pablo Perez, starter at safety to begin the year, he was injured. Did you offer any words of encouragement or anything talking to him about his injury and his recovery?
Yeah, so when I got injured last year, he was also there for me, and he's been like a brother to me since freshman year. We always played safety together. We always had each other's back. So when that happened to him, I said, hey, bro, I'm here for you, and I'm playing for you.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a really cool story. As we've seen you kind of get out there on the football field more and more throughout the year and going out and making those plays. Tell me a little bit about your processing back there at safety, because obviously you got to come up, make the tackle, especially at the high school level. A lot of teams are running, and passing to, maybe, catch the defense off guard, that kind of thing. So tell me about your role and how you kind of manage, whether it's a pass play or run play, and how you come up to help support the run.
So my role typically as a safety is you're the last line of defense. So as you're watching, what Winkler always says is don't watch the quarterback, watch your man, watch your coverage. So but definitely having the coverage in the back of your head and having the correct steps and the correct coverages, it's a big part of it because as you might have saw last game, I took the wrong footing and that cost me. So that's definitely something I can take and learn from to use this week.
Yeah. All right, so what's in store after your senior year? I know you said you're taking some MCC classes right now.
Yeah, so I'm in construction right now, but that's just kind of something I would like to have for my own personal use. But I have a lawn care business and detailing business, so those are two things I plan to expand and eventually be the manager of, and then maybe from there go to the academy and be an officer. Awesome. Though my other plan is, depending how this recovery goes, find a few schools that would consider taking me for football or soccer and see where opportunities take me.
Awesome. Owning your own home, that construction will come in handy, by the way, as a homeowner myself.
Yeah. One of the things I've always wanted to do is build a deck on my own house. So we'll get there.
That's good. That's good. Well, keep up the great work. Wish you nothing but the best of luck this senior season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. That is Logan Hoffman with our Cat Connection. All brought to you by Tyler Prashong, State Farm Agency, mtownproud.com.
Like any good neighbor, sometimes you move. Here at Tyler Prashong State Farm, we have moved to our new office location at 2110 South Center Street here in Marshalltown. I'm Tyler Pichon. I'm so proud of my team and what we have helped build, but we couldn't have done it without you. We are passionate about what we do and care about the community we serve. I invite you to our new location and see how we can make a positive impact in your life.
We'd love to talk to you about what makes you
M-Town proud.
Friday night, Bobcats and Warriors coming up in just a little bit. Now we chat with head coach Adam Goodman. Coach, your team coming off a loss to Kennedy. You mentioned in the postgame show just about creating that juice and all that kind of stuff as far as kind of missing a little bit of that. You look at that game flow last week. What a crazy game. I always feel like the momentum in games is such a huge thing. What do you kind of feel about that side of the angle and getting your team ready for this week?
Yeah, I think you brought up momentum, and I think, with, specifically that kickoff return that we got called back it was a big momentum swing. If we were able to capitalize on that and get points on the board, we're right back there in the game, and, went down the wrong way. So, being able to handle adversity like that and bounce back and be able to put plays behind you, that's stuff we talk about a lot. And then we talked a lot this week. We hit the reset button again, and I tell the kids, win, lose, whatever, we reset on Monday and we get back after it and get ready to play a game at a higher level the following Friday. And we've had a good week of practice, high focus on energy. Like we talked about last week, we want to be energetic on the sidelines and loud and support our guys and our teammates and do it consistently.
Yeah. Last week, a bright spot, we saw J.J. Schoenfelder back for pretty much a full football game since he was kind of roughed up against Waterloo East in a long carry and dealing with a leg injury. 4.5 tackles, had a fumble recovery, had a tackle for a loss. What'd you make of his performance out there at linebacker and being able to get out there in a good flow?
Yeah, I think, JJ's in a much better spot health-wise than he's been in the last few weeks. Checked in with him last night, and he was feeling really good, so that's great to hear. He's a physical kid, and, you could really tell as eating at him that he's playing pretty, not at 100%. And, I think we're as close as we've been since, prior to the injury with him.
Yeah. One of the things that my mom always told me, I don't care if you're a ditch digger, be the best dang, I'm editing her words there, that you could be, and you talk so frequently about maybe some of the life lessons and stuff. I mean, last week there was 4 turnovers. Jameson Niehaus threw his first pick of the season, a couple of them last Friday night. How do you make sure that those guys learn, like, hey, mistakes are going to happen in life, and it's all about, fighting back and, like you've mentioned, resetting on the week, and it's a new week, that kind of thing. How do you kind of approach that angle to keep these guys going and keep positive and know that, that's just one game. It doesn't have to define the season.
I think it's obviously super easy when things are going well. It's a matter of when things are going bad and you're facing adversity, how you respond to that. And that's stuff we talk about a lot. And I try to keep it extremely simple with these guys. There's 2 ways you can go. You can sit there and pout and feel sorry for yourself, or you can get over it and go win the next play. So, it's a lot easier said than done. All right. It's a work in progress, but, I think for the most part, our kids, have shown a lot of growth in that mental toughness area. And, it's something that you got to continue to improve on every single day.
Yeah. Running this offense in the flex bone, I just kind of a question, because you were a quarterback in college as well. So running a flex bone like this, when you look at the offense, it's run, and then finally you might have a pass. How do you tell your quarterbacks or prepare them? Because, they're not dropping back, throwing it 30 times a game. How do they get in a rhythm when they do have to go to the air?
I don't know I think it's just taking advantage of the opportunity that's there for you. Jameson's I think in his head, he's just another running back for us. He's going to go out there and make plays, and, you got to be smart, and you got to have, a short memory and go out there and just play the game. And I think he does a great job with that. And, as far as finding a rhythm, I don't know if we throw enough where that's ever going to be possible, and like I said, when we do throw the ball, we want to be very efficient and, just got to be ready for whatever's called. And I think he's done a great job so far.
For sure. It is hard to believe, week number 6 already of the high school football season. We will preview our matchup with the Warriors when we come back on KFJB-TV.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Marshalltown Bobcats on the road tonight to take on the Waukee Warriors. Their 1-4 record, a little bit deceiving. You know, they run the ball pretty well. Their defense has come up with 7 sacks on the season and interception. What'd you see on tape that you know they do really well against that tough competition that they've already had this year?
Yeah, I think you said it. I think the record's very deceiving. They're a good football team. Beat Kennedy a couple weeks ago. Very close one this past week against DCG. And you turn on the film, you see athletic kids running around, flying to the football on the defensive side, and offensively, they're fairly balanced. Their quarterback and running back both have a huge chunk of their carries, and they're athletic kids and smart. I know the quarterback's been playing there for, I think he's a 4-year starter now, coach's kid. Smart kid, knows where to go with the football and can create with his legs. And, he's got a big tight end that he can get the ball to, and some other fast weapons on the outside. And I think defensively up front, they got some size. Their 4-down linemen are big kids that play with a motor. And, I think their secondary is pretty solid as well. I think it's a lot of kids with experience, and it's going to be a fun challenge.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned the big tight end, Evan Jacobson. He's committed to go play at Texas A&M. Having a little bit of a quiet season, 10 catches, just over 100 yards, hasn't even had a touchdown reception. How do you make sure he doesn't have a big game against you?
I don't think it's any different than any other game. You got to read your keys and you got to trust them, and you can't zone out, and you can't, be doing your own type of thing. We got to do our job. We've been practicing it all week, and then we got to do it every single play. It's a matter of consistency, and he's a big target to lose as well. He's 6'7" or whatever, and it's just a matter of, like I said, being disciplined enough to do your job.
Yeah. Of course, you face Waukee tonight. First time in 10 years the Bobcats have faced Waukee. 5th-year head coach Gabe Baker. He played at Iowa State. You played at the collegiate level. Last year you played at Miles. You played at Iowa. It's so fun to see the high school coaches come back to the college players come back to the high school level and coach and develop. When you look at guys like that, or yourself, or like Ed Miles over at Cedar Rapids Jefferson, what's it mean to see guys giving back and trying to coach and lead young men?
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously I can only speak for myself, but I think it's just the nature of the game and what it's provided so many people throughout, their own personal experiences playing or coaching or whatever it is. And it's just the want to continue to build young men into, quality people and do that through the game of football has just been so valuable for myself and in my life. And I imagine the same for a lot of those other guys as well. And, it's pretty special when you dig down to the bones of it. And, pretty cool that you brought that up. I haven't thought about that, I guess, in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I was putting some thought to it just because my interactions with you and Ed and Gabe have been so different, and it seems like maybe that diversity and culture and, you're not just stuck in that same mode. You played for a team. Maybe you get the big picture a little bit more. I have to think that made an impact in your coaching career.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing with I can probably say every single coach is just the need or the want to just continue to grow, in myself and my coaching and doing it with these guys and trying to provide the best experience possible for them is just very rewarding.
Yeah, that is for sure. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right. That is head coach Adam Goodman with us on our pregame chat on a football Friday night. Coming up, kickoff between the Warriors and the Bobcats on KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social. And that's just on the inside. Step outside and enjoy patio life at Gutter Point with drinks, shuffleboard, live music, and fun atmosphere. Follow Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to plan your next visit to the place for fun.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East Southridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
The following is a presentation of Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV.
As the calendar turns to October, the boys of fall take to the field. It takes patience to get to this point. There's long days, hard work to put the grain in the bin. But just as quickly as harvest is done, so is the season for these boys of fall. 95-yard touchdown run for Tyler England. No flags on the field. Bo Niehaus has got a seam at the numbers at the 40, at the 50, pulling away from the Little Cyclones. Touchdown, 3rd and 6 to the house for Jamison Niehaus. 20-10, Smitherman does it again. Shoots through the gap, touchdown. You only get so many weeks to stand in the huddle listening to the call. Time to kick off Week 6 for the boys of fall. Welcome to week number 6 on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV. I'm Brandon Lewis. A beautiful, warm week number 6. Dylan Doze alongside me. I'm Brandon Lewis as we welcome you to Waukee. Time to dive inside our matchup here tonight between the Warriors and the Bobcats. All brought to you by Sentry Plumbing. Dylan, boy, I tell you what, inside the matchup here tonight, it's got to be about these quarterbacks here tonight. I mean, last week, a rough go of it for Jamison Niehaus. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, senior season, you're hoping at this point that no more picks for your quarterback in Baker, who's already thrown 7 so far this year. This game really going to come down to that.
I think so. Well, you look at Waukee comes in at 1-4. They've lost to Dallas Center Grimes by a point last week. Lost to Valley, who is ranked by 11. They beat Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Lost by 13 to Ankeny, 10 to Johnson. All that tells me is those 7 picks have had a huge impact on what this season looks like. This Waukee team is very talented, and I think Beckett Baker is also talented. He can do a little bit on the ground, but he also throws it efficiently in the air. His big bugaboo, interceptions. Flip it to the other side for your Marshalltown Bobcats. Jamison Niehaus, when he's running the football, he's been very elusive in space. He's been able to turn on the Jets, most notably the 72-yard touchdown run in the opening week. He just turned him on and off he went. But he has struggled here recently, has not been effective in the pass game. He's thrown 2 picks last week. But the big thing that I really look at is the fumbles. There's so many opportunities in this offense, in those multiple decisions that you have to make, but he has to stop putting the ball on the ground. That negatively affected that Mason City game. It negatively affected last week.
Yeah.
Both of those Marshalltown losses, we got away with it last time we traveled down to the metro area when we defeated East. But I really think right there, for the Cats to have an opportunity, he has to play a clean game, flip it to the Warriors. If the Cats are going to stay in this one, it's going to be off those miscues from the senior quarterback on the other side of the field.
That is our Inside the Matchup, all brought to you by Sentry Plumbing, specializing in service plumbing in Marshalltown. Step aside for our national anthem here at Waukee High School on KFJB-TV. We'll check out tonight's starting lineups when we come back on KFJB-TV.
When you need a plumber quickly, try Sentry Plumbing of Marshalltown. We specialize in service plumbing, not new construction or large remodels, so we get to our customers faster, from clogged drains to water heaters and everything in between. We can help with a guaranteed appointment and quality efficient service. I'm Sarah, co-owner of Sentry Plumbing, and I'd love to book your appointment today. Call 641-750-0108. That's 641-750-0108.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is powered by McGregor's Furniture and Mattress. Quality furniture for every room in your home. Sandvik Enterprises of Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you. Scooters of Marshalltown. Amazing people, amazing drinks. And Sports Plus. SportsPlusTherapy.com.
Back at Waukee High School for week number 6 of the high school football season. Time for our starting lineups, all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you while we deliver you the starting lineup. First off, for the Waukee Warrior offense tonight, it looks like this. Beckett Baker will be the starting quarterback, possibly trying to play at the next level. Last year, he threw 19 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. This year, 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in his senior season. He's passed for 713 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Number 2, Beckett Baker. He'll hand off to Ben Case Hobb. Number 22, 86 rushes this year. That's 5th most attempts in Iowa this year in Class 5A. Last year, 6 rushing touchdowns. He has 4 this year. Wide receivers will be number 7, Jaden Jeter, Miles O'Connor, as well as JT Slider, as none of those receivers have caught a touchdown, including his starting tight end, Evan Jacobson, number 86, who's committed to go play at Texas A&M. He has also not caught a touchdown pass this year. Andrew Hine, Tommy Lloyd, Ian Alley, Colton Shipper, as well as Tyson Cobb on the offensive line. On the defensive side of things for Waukee tonight, it will be Andrew Hine, the Army commit at defensive end, number 73, 4.5 total tackles. Vincent Johnson, as well as Mason Moritz. He has 1.5 sacks and 18.5 total tackles. And Jim Lee Virgin, 5.5 total tackles and defensive end, 1.5 sacks. Caden Crispin, the leading tackler on this team, in 5th and 5A at 43. Gail Seiler and Ryan Langling at linebacker. Tavian White, who's going to go play at North Dakota. He's at the corner. The other one is Alvin Greer. Jaden Jeter and Thurston Nebo are the safeties. For the Bobcats offensively here tonight, things look like this. It will be at quarterback Jamison Niehaus, 7.9 yards per carry. That's 5th and 5A. He'll hand off to Tyler England, who's the slot back. He has 8 yards per carry. That's 4th in 5A. Gaston Ferris will be the B-back. Aiden Smitherman, the other slot back. As Kyle Smith Zamora will be at wideout. Tight end is Jacob Hayes. and Verdinez, Hinkle, Macias, Sinclair, Estrada. For another game in a row, they will be the starting offensive line. On the defensive side of things for the Marshalltown Bobcats tonight, it'll be Talon Halstead, Ignacio Macias, Jackson Hinkle on the line that's generated 3.5 sacks this year. Linebackers, England's going to be in there for Niehaus to get the game going. Zach Wilder, J.J. Schoenfelder, Zane Moore will be at linebacker as well. Giles Smith, Unga Pramana are the corners. The safeties, Drake Gersma and Logan Hoffman. Hoffman, last 3 weeks, the team leader in tackles with 23 total tackles over the last 3 weeks. So it's been a good stretch for him. That's our starting lineups tonight. Again, all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. You're watching Bobcat football on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
Looking for top-notch eye care close to home? Eye Care Associates, with offices in Marshalltown, Conrad, and Toledo, has proudly served Central Iowa since 1990. Their expert team provides eye exams for all ages, designer frames, contact lens fittings, and treatment for glaucoma, cataracts, and other eye conditions. With advanced technology, a welcoming staff, and convenient online booking, your next visit is easier than ever. Visit VisionSource-MarshalltownEyeCare.com today. Eye Care Associates, your vision is their priority.
Back in for today's keys to the game as the Bobcats take the field, all presented by First Rate Real Estate, FirstRateTeam.com. Dylan?
Yeah, for the Cats, it's going to be about create and eliminate, all about turnovers. They have got to create turnovers on the defensive side of the football, and all of the fumbles and interceptions and playing negative turnover football has got to stop. You've got to eliminate that, play a clean game. On the flip side, it's about the big plays. Their offense has been misfiring sporadic at points, but they do have some big plays in the pass game. Multiple touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, over 35 yards in the air. I feel like Waukee has some opportunities to go down the field, and that right there will be a big indicator if the Cats can stay in this game. If they can eliminate big plays, the Cats will stick around into the fourth.
That is for sure. That is today's keys to the game. Again, all presented by First Rate Real Estate, FirstRateTeam.com. Kickoff between the Warriors and the Bobcats coming up right here on KFJB-TV.
Good call tonight, man. You too? You think what I'm thinking? Let's go to Legends for a Bobcat burger.
Hi, guys. What are we hungry for today?
I think we're going to do 2 Bobcat burgers. Whether it's pregame or postgame.
Or during the game, it's Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
Intercepted. It's Niehaus, a sophomore, makes the pick of the 20. Week number 6. It is Waukee and Marshalltown. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside me, our KFJB-TV crew on the road tonight as Waukee is taking the field on senior night as they send out the seniors first. Packed crowd. This is what it's all about here tonight, Dylan.
Yeah, it's a full side. We're looking into a lot of Waukee fans. Bobcats, there's been some travelers here as well. It is absolutely everything you want in a Friday night. You've got the bands. You've got youth coming out to support their high school heroes. You've got the cheerleading squad. You've got it all. And I wouldn't rather be in another place on a Friday night than with the very own Brandon Lewis.
Well, we appreciate that. We also appreciate our producer on site, David Braga, Jeff Brooks back at our radio studios. Elijah Bond, as well as Todd Steinkamp, is roaming the sidelines, filling in for a very good friend Keith Stewart, who was under the weather earlier this week, and he is feeling much better. Keith, we know you're watching and monitoring. We miss you, but rest up.
Yeah, and we've been telling Todd on the drive down and here he better not mess it up because we have a certain standard, the Keith Stewart standard that we need on the field.
Wow, what a night. 79 degrees, but earlier tonight it was 90 degrees down on the field as it was a very warm start to the day. Finally cooling down a little bit as we approach kickoff here in just a few moments.
There we see that 88 degrees there right around 6:30. It was about 91 on the field when we got here. It seems to all kind of calm down for a beautiful night.
Student section all pumped up.
I thought that was the parents. I thought they just had hops over there.
Our coin toss at midfield as Waukee will be in the all-purple tops, black bottoms. And Waukee will receive to begin the game. Bobcats in their all-white uniforms with the cat script on the top. Bobcats 3-2. Warriors are 1-4. Warriors coming off a loss against DCG in a heartbreaker last week, 29-28. As we take a look at head coach Adam Goodman for the Marshalltown Bobcats in his 9th year. Cats coming off a 49-0 loss to Cedar Rapids Kennedy last week. Before that, they beat Des Moines East 29-27. So they came out on the positive side, the Cardiac Cats in that game. And this one will be all about the start here tonight as Waukee will get the kickoff to begin week number 6 of the high school football season as we turn the calendar to October. And those big plays, they can create a few. They've had a kickoff return. Bobcats have had a couple kickoff returns for touchdowns this year. That's been the name of the game.
Yeah.
Special teams has played a big role in what the Bobcats have done this year.
Yeah, it's been some great instant offense. It's been a real, and then on the opposite side, we've given up some big plays. I really like the decision here, Waukee. If you're favored in a ball game, if you can get the Cats down quick on the road, you might try to squash that upset right away. But if the Cats can come out, defense can make a stand, big energy boost, big shot in the arm for your Bobcats.
Our kickoff tonight, all powered by Sentry 21, the Poly Real Estate team. England misses a tackle and sprinting ahead is Waukee. They'll get up to the 41-yard line. And that'll be great starting position for the Warriors on their first drive as they'll march out starting quarterback Beckett Baker with those 5 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions, 713 yards. 386 rushing yards, 3 TDs, but they love to hand it off to Ben Case Hobb, number 22, with 446 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season coming into this one.
Yeah, he's not a big back. He's got some wiggle to him, and he can hit the hole. 5 yards a clip.
Baker will put a man in motion. He's going to drop back to pass over the middle of the field, and that's the big tight end. He doesn't have a touchdown reception on the year, but he's got a big gainer inside the 30 down to the 21-yard line is where Evan Jacobson is finally brought down. And Dylan, right out of the gate, your keys, those 25-yard plus plays you got to eliminate.
And that's where I think that the Bobcats have actually gotten lucky a couple weeks there where there's those big, tall tight ends. That little seam route, it seems to be a perfect fit against this Bobcat D.
Empty out the backfield, bring a man in motion, and here goes Hobb to the end zone, diving, tackled. No, he's in for a touchdown. Ben Case Hobb with a 21-yard touchdown run. 2 plays, just over 30 seconds gone, and it's 6-0 Waukee as they brought the running back out of the slot in motion to the far side of the field. And he just juked around a few Bobcats and pushed his way into the end zone at the end.
There's that wiggle, but really smart opening series by Waukee. Make an easy throw to your 4-star going to A&M, and then you go back to your running back, and like that, you're up 7-0. Cats already on their heels.
So a 39-yard pass and a 21-yard run. And the PAT by Wyatt Robinson is up. And the Cats trailing early. A big pass play and then a big run play of 21 yards as Ben Case-Hobb gets Waukee on the board on KFJB-TV.
At Lennox Employees Credit Union, we take care of you like family. We're all about personal service, going above and beyond for our members. Whether it's home, auto, or other financial services, we're here for you. Take advantage of our always low interest rates or exclusive perks being a member can bring. Unlike others within personal services, at Lennox Employees Credit Union, we're all about that personal service. We find great joy meeting with our members to discuss their financial needs or big dreams. It's easy to become a member. Stop in today. Lennox Employees Credit Union, a family place.
Just like a week ago, an early score for the opponent for the Bobcats. The Warriors strike for 7 as Hobb punches it in from 21 yards out. BAT was good, 7-0 as we look at the replay again, all brought to you by Tyler Pashong Agency, State Farm, mtownproud.com. That is a tough physical run here on senior night. Is back to return on the Century 21 real estate return. Aiden Smitherman, they fake the reverse. He finds a seam. Could this be number 3 of the season? The kicker tracking him down, getting the angle, but there goes Smitherman around the edge. Touchdown, Bobcats! Aiden Smitherman, number 3 of the year.
Oh my goodness. What a job by Smitherman. Of course they had it scoped on video, that fake reverse. Smitherman holds it, but really the great part of the run was about the 40-yard line. Smitherman does something. It's not always how fast you are in the top end, it's how you use your speed. He actually kind of measured up the kicker there, turned on the afterburst, up the sideline, and Smitherman's gone. What a reaction, what a response by the Marshalltown Bobcats.
How about it? Aiden Smitherman with a 94-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. As the Bobcats put the PAT through, it is good by Zimbrano, and we're tied with 11:08 in the first quarter. How about it? Aiden Smitherman, one of the best return men in 5A. Third in 5A in return yardage per kickoff return, and he takes one the distance. We're all tied at 7 on KFJB-TV.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch, or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
Welcome back to Waukee. Aiden Smitherman, the star of the show for the Bobcats, to answer a 2-play drive for the Waukee Warriors. Ties it up at 7 as our kickoff. All brought to you here tonight by Sentry 21, Marshalltown's #1 home team, the Poly Real Estate team. Waukee will go right up the gut with this return. It's a good one up to the 41-yard line, and that's exactly where they started on their last drive. Is on the return, Jaden Jeter for Waukee to give them great field position. They'll mark it a yard back at the 40, but 94-yard kickoff return. That is his longest of the year. He came in with a 91. That was 5th in 5A, but he is a special teams player, that is for sure.
He's a special athlete, and what was impressive of that is Waukee wasn't ultimately fooled. They set their edge out there, and Smitherman just put on the Jets.
Beckett Baker drops back to pass on first down. It is caught by Hobb, the running back, and he's going to sprint ahead to the 40. It's going to be a 20-yard gain on first down, and that was one just out into the flat, Dylan. He found a little bit of room to get past the defense, and then his shiftiness got him those extra yards.
Well, the big thing is you've got to make those initial tackles in space.
Yeah.
You can't allow 6-yard passes to be 20-yard gains.
First down throw out to the near side. There's going to be almost maybe a blocking in the back. No flag flies. And finally, Drake Gersma hauls Jeter out of bounds after he picks up the first down. It's a 12-yard gain on first down, and they're going to keep this quick offense going here as they'll get set at the line. With 4 wide receivers, Hobb is the running back, standing to his left of his quarterback in Baker in the shotgun formation. Bobcats get set with 3 down linemen. Hand it off to Hobb on first down. He's going to reverse field, come out near side. Boy, he breaks out of a tackle, and he's gone for a touchdown. It's a 28-yard scamper this time, as it was designed to go off the right side of the line, but he used a cutback lane. He had Jeter out on the near side blocking, and he scores 6 for the second time.
And that was the backside. Both Zach Wilder and Zane Moore were just sucked up into the pile. No one stayed home on that left side. That is just not playing your position, really. Go overcompensating, going into that hole, and an easy touchdown run.
Swinging gate, throw out to the near side, no good, as it's caught by Colton Smith, the junior tight end. Can't get to the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and the score will remain 13-7 with 10:27 in the first quarter. This is Bobcat football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
Bobcats trailing 13-7 up on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard with 10:27 in the opening quarter of play. Hobb with his second rushing touchdown. He's got a 21 and a 28-yard rushing touchdown. It's time for a kickoff, all powered by the Poly Real Estate team, Sentry 21, and it is away down to the 5-yard line. Aiden Smitherman will catch it. He fakes the reverse. No, he did give it off to England. England comes up the near side, up to the 15, and brought down at the 16. That did not catch Waukee off guard right there. So 10-19 in the first quarter. First time we're going to see the Bobcat offense here tonight, Dylan.
And it comes down to all about just being effective and efficient. Last week, they really struggled with that roaming hybrid. That seventh front man up there, they just could not read that, could not get anything clear in the decision-making on the line. Here they're going to face a more traditional 4-3, a talented group, a smaller group, but a talented group nonetheless.
Back it in with a flex bone. 2 wide receivers split out. Kyle Smith on the bottom side of your TV screen. A handoff right up the gut. Bobcats carrying a few Warriors on his back. That's Gaston Ferris getting a handoff off the left side. Gains 1 yard. Second down and 9 coming up. What a beautiful scene we have here. Setting off to our west. A packed crowd on the far side from us as we are on the visitor side here at Waukee High School tonight.
Yeah, not to get to Ansel Adams, but that sunset is like a purple-gold mix that is definitely the Waukee colors.
That is for sure. Second down and 9. Bobcats check the wristband for the play. Still 2 wide receivers in the flex bone as Gaston Ferris is the B-back. Smitherman as well as England are the slot backs. England comes near side. He is pushed back after a gain of about 2 yards, setting up 3rd down and 7. 3rd down and 6 will mark it a gain of 3 for Tyler England. Read pretty well by that defensive group for the Waukee Warriors.
And one big difference we're seeing right away defensively between the two units is Waukee has done a tremendous job of just staying home. And that's what you have to do when you have that triple option. You have to be able to stay home, wait for the ball to come to you. Don't try to over-pursue. Good job by Waukee there.
Zane Moore now the only wide receiver split out to the near side. Bobcats going to the north end zone. Niehaus rolls out near side. He's got room. He's got the first down. He's up past the 30 and pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That is exactly what you talked about in the pregame. Get a rhythm, take it yourself, get something going early.
Yeah, get yourself to the outside. Call your own number. Jamison's very good at getting out in space. He's quick, he's strong, and if it's him one-on-one, you like his chances. Good job by the junior signal caller.
31-yard line is where it's now spotted for Niehaus, as he'll get underneath center with Gaston Ferris still to be back. And they'll go left side. Niehaus will keep it himself. He does not pitch it. He's back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, that looked like he may have had, Aiden may have had some opportunity out there, but he kept it, hung on to the football through contact.
Bobcats will sub in a couple of wide receivers as Kyle Smith re-enters into the game. Levi Bell will split out to the far side. Smith is on the near side. Bobcats checking the wristband on 2nd down and 10. England and Smitherman still the slot backs. Ferris is the B-back. Smitherman comes in motion. Fake the handoff right up the gut. Niehaus keeps it himself. He's up to the 40-yard line near a 1st down. It's going to be a 9-yard gain, setting up 3rd down and 1. And this might be that opportunity for the Cat Claw here. You know, my Broncos take on the Eagles. Broncos say they're not scared of the tush push, but We'll see if Waukee is scared of the Cat Claw right here on this play.
That's right, and I love what the Steelers are doing. Aaron Rodgers just isn't involved in the tush push when they do it. Like, I'll let
they
the
bring somebody else in, yeah. I think they brought a tight end in last week.
Yeah, he's just standing in the backfield.
3rd and 1 for the Cats on their own side of the field at the 40. Right up the gut they'll go, and it looks like it's going to be enough for a 1st down. A 3-yard Cat Claw will move the chains.
And you absolutely love what the Cats are doing here offensively. You had the 2-play drive for a touchdown, then the Bobcats get that big kickoff return, but then give up another 2-play touchdown drive. Slow it down. Control the clock. Get a few 1st downs back to back.
People not familiar with Bobcats game don't know that Mason City and Bobcats lost that game, but they went on an 8-minute and 55-yard drive in that game, and that's what head coach Adam Goodman wants to see out of his squad, putting those long drives together to wear that clock out as Gaston Ferris gets the handoff on 1st down. He takes it 4 yards right up the middle. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, head coach Adam Goodman after the East game, I was talking to him, and Tyler England had that 95-yard touchdown run after the forced fumble. He goes, the only issue might have been we might have scored too fast.
Yeah.
Only a head coach can find fault in a 95-yard touchdown run.
Bell and Smith are the wide receivers split out. Bobcats taking the game clock all the way, or the play clock all the way down to 7 seconds here. Fake the handoff. Niehaus goes around the far edge. He's got the room, and he's got the 1st down, it looks like, on 2nd down and 6. He's up over the 50 to the 45-yard line. A good 10-yard run for Niehaus, who looks a little bit more locked in than we've seen the past couple of weeks.
Well, he definitely does. The other thing, just the nature of it, Waukee is a much slighter. If you're watching this and if you have Waukee is much smaller across the line. Kennedy was 280 everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
They were 280 in the 2 deeps. They were not small.
Yeah. Waukee's got a lot of speed out there, though, that is for sure. Niehaus underneath center at 1st down and 10 at the 45 in Waukee territory. Late pitch to England, trying to get the corner. Got a little bit of blocking from Kyle Smith, his wide receiver out there. Falls over the 40 to the 39-yard line. 6-yard gain on 1st down. And early on here, this is the 2nd best rushing attack in Class 5A. You're seeing it finally here this week where, you know, if you can get 5-6 yards on 1st down, you're going to be extremely successful.
And really, it's the type that they want to play. Don't find yourself behind the chains. Allow yourself to just work it down, matriculate it down the field. And the offensive line is doing a good job of controlling the defensive line there.
Smitherman put in motion. Niehaus trips, but Ferris gets the handoff, and he rips through a couple of Warriors, but fumbles it. And the Warriors say they have it. This could be costly on a drive that was going, but they say the Bobcats got it back. Looked like Ferris must have jumped back on it, and Gaston Ferris gets the 1st down up to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 7 to move the chains. Almost a little bit of heartbreak right there on this drive that has a lot of good momentum.
And that was almost a disaster from the get-go. Jamison Niehaus got his foot stepped on.
Did you see that? He picked it away from the Warriors at the last second to get that ball back. So first down and 10 for the Bobcats. End around Smitherman. It is red. The ball comes out. Bobcats can't get it. Warriors have it. Uh-oh, this is trouble. Taking it back is
Blocking
Bunkers.
the back.
No flag on the field.
There is. Far side.
Warriors think they have a touchdown, but it looks like it is coming back on the fumble recovery. Smitherman stood up in the backfield on the end around, and the Warriors take it all the way in for 6, but potentially coming back as the officials getting together and talking about this one on a block in the back potentially. And we'll see where they spot it back as the flag is down around. I didn't see it all the way over there at the 12-yard line is where it's hanging out.
They threw it right behind the play. Jacob Hayes saved a touchdown there. He hustled the entire way back. He didn't make the tackle, but he forced Waukee to be in the position. And that's where it is. You have to eliminate those turnovers. And Aiden Smitherman on the handoff just fumbled the ball, got hit hard. And now the Cats have got to find something in those defensive reserves to be able to stop this Warrior attack.
It's been the Ben Case Hub show here tonight. And another running back, a different one into the game this time in Jai White. And he has got to sprint out to the near side on that sweet pitch from his quarterback. And he's all the way down to the 3-yard line. So a huge run right there for White. 4 rushes for 8 yards coming into this one. That's one his longest of the game. Gets him from the 22 down to the 3. A 19-yard run on first down.
White. I think that's going to be a forward pass. He was up about a half a yard there.
White will stay in. They'll throw a fade to the corner of the end zone, looking for his tight end, Evan Jacobson. It is incomplete. Jacobson looking for his first touchdown reception of the season. It'll bring up second and goal from the 3.
And Anga Pramana and myself looking for a flag with the clear shove-off.
That is a blatant shove-off right there with 4:03 in the opening quarter. Waukee with a 13-7 lead.
And he has a clear foot advantage. He didn't need more help there.
Miles O'Connor now one-on-one with Unga Pramana to the top side of the screen. Fake the handoff, roll out to the near side. They're going to look for the tight end. No. A late pass picked in the end zone! Drake Gersma comes up with a huge play. The second interception of the season for the Bobcat defense. First one since week number 2, and Gersma read the play. Baker had the tight end wide open, didn't give it to him, and the Bobcats make a huge stop in the end zone.
You're saying exactly what I was going to say. He had him on the goal line, wide open in the flat. Easy little pitch and catch out there, but that's why the senior has 7 picks on the year, now 8. He waited and waited. He eliminated the easy for 6, and he did what the Bobcats couldn't. He stopped the Warriors' offense with a turnover. Huge opportunity for the Cats.
Yeah.
Another life.
I don't know how Colton Smith, the tight end, gets any more wide open than that.
He was 3 yards on that drag route. Had him by 3 yards.
Huge break for the Bobcats after they fumble it away. They get it back on the Gersma pick, and Ferris will get the handoff on first down, and he is drugged down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1 yard, 2nd and 11 coming up as he tried to stretch it to the far side of the field, but again, that speed showing up right there for Waukee.
Well, and that's where I think if you're Ferris, you've just got to trust go north and south. Do not mess around with the east and west. Allow that to go to the Smitherman. Allow that to go to Tyler England as Drake Gersma is going to come in for that slot position and replace Ferris.
That'll move Tyler England to be back. Kyle Smith split out to the near side at wide receiver. Niehaus barking out the signals. And a delay of game, but no, a timeout call before the delay of game by head coach Adam Goodman. 2nd and 11 with 3:08 first quarter when we come back on KFJB-TV.
In Iowa, we are fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to get involved in at our schools.
Athletics and activities have so many positive effects. From learning how to build relationships and healthy lifestyles,
and gain self-esteem and confidence.
Make participation a priority. You and your school will benefit.
Bobcats with the timeout on 2nd and 11. The play clock was running down. 3:08 first quarter on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard. 13-7 Warriors leading your Marshalltown Bobcats. Drake Gersma a moment ago with a huge pick in the end zone. And the Bobcats starting at their own 20-yard line. 2nd down and 11 after a Ferris loss. B-back is England. They get the late handoff, and a flag flies. Kind of in the area of a false start, it looks like, coming up.
Yeah, going to look illegal formation or a false start there.
Officials still talking it over.
I do love that they're mic'd. That makes our life a million times easier.
And I believe the call from our head referee coming here in a moment. They're talking with Waukee on what they want.
And this is exactly what we've talked about. The Cats are not built to be behind the sticks. This is going to be of a 10-yard variety.
Offense number 52, half the distance to the goal. Replay 2nd down.
The only bright spot is it's only 2nd down.
Yeah.
2nd and a mile to go now for the Bobcats. They have to get all the way up to the 30-yard line to get a first down.
If
and
that's
the ball all the way back to the 9-yard line.
If that's a full mile, I think I can run a marathon.
2nd and 21. What do you have?
I don't think you go crazy. You might see a passing play here, but
hand off to England, right side. He'll go over right guard and push ahead up to the 14-yard line. So a nice little run of nearly 70 yards there on first down.
This is your 7th year with Coach Goodman, my 6th. Understanding kind of how he thinks, you're almost looking at a punt as a win here. You were able to get that pick in the end zone. You're not looking so much. You don't want to put your offense in danger of another turnover. So I would be shocked if we saw a pass play here.
They marked him back a little bit behind where it looked like he initially had. So 3rd down and 16. And a handoff again. England breaks a tackle. He's over the 20-yard line and falling ahead. And a late flag is going to come in. This is an area of potentially maybe a late hit or something of that nature, but a good run right there to get up over the 20-yard line, up to the 22 by England. And it could be...
I think it might be holding.
All right. And I believe they'll decline it and bring up 4th down.
Holding. White, number 54. Penalties declined. 4th down.
Well, then the ball should... All right, there they go. They had it set. Waukee was just standing over it. I was like... Waukee was coming up. I was like, well, you can't get the penalty and the down.
Cale Meisner is back to return, as well as Boston Onstott.
And Logan Hoffman's going to be punting.
And Hoffman almost got that one blocked. It's off the side of the foot, hits at the 35 and takes a bad bounce. Unga Pramana covers it up at the 32-yard line. So not great swing of field position right there for the Bobcats. there was pressure getting in on that special teams unit for the Warriors.
And Logan was not ready for the snap whatsoever. If you look at that replay, he was like licking his fingers or blowing on his hands first, and it seemed that kind of snuck up on him. He didn't catch it cleanly. And, Logan's been able to catch that a little bit more cleanly than Innocent, and it feels like that might have been the reason why they made the switch. But not a good result for the Cats.
1:43 in the first quarter. 13-7 still our score with Waukee leading. Man comes in motion for Beckett Baker. He'll look to drop back. Talon Halstead with pressure on him, as well as J.J. Schoenfelder. He dives, misses. Baker's going to scramble to the far side. Down over the 20-yard line. It's going to be a first down run for Beckett Baker, a 12-yard pickup to move the chains.
I really like mixing in blitzes against Baker, especially after you saw that he will make bad decisions. And if you can get him rattled, I feel much better with the ball and the game in his hands over going with Case Hobb or the other White or any of the running back options.
Fake the handoff, swing out pass to the near side to Jeter. Jeter catches it, gets a little bit of blocking, but a good tackle from the side by Aiden Smitherman to drop him at the 15-yard line. They'll mark him at the 14 officially with that forward progression, but a good tackle by Smitherman. If he doesn't make that, they're probably a first and goal at the 5 or so.
And that's what the Cats have to do with this offense. It's quick sideline-to-sideline passing, and then you get Jacobson. They move him around, stack him on the wide receiver line, put him on the line, now at the H-back position.
Baker brings it down, a design QB run right up the gut. Hunter Forrs is in for the tackle, as well as Jamison Niehaus. And that'll be a first down run on 2nd down and 4. Gets inside the 10 for a first and goal coming up for the Waukee Warriors.
And that's where it's really interesting to see all the different ways they use Jacobson, and sometimes you can fall in love with like stats of why is he 4-star level tight end with 10 catches. Well, you can kind of see it. They can move him all around, do a lot of different things. And now he's standard on the right side of the line.
O'Connor comes in motion from left to right. Baker's going to roll out to the right side. Pressure, and he's sacked in the backfield. Down at the 10-yard line, Jamison Niehaus finishes him off. But a few other Bobcats in there to help create that pressure and bring him down for a loss. 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, great job. They crashed from the outside there, and then Zach Wilder also helped him clean it up. But a really well-timed blitz and pressure from Duncan Furch.
A run with White off the right side, and he pushes in for a 10-yard touchdown. Boy, that was good blocking off that right side. And you mentioned that's where the big tight end set up, and he led him into the end zone for 6.
It just became abundantly easy, running right between the tackles, and that was a wide open that White just kind of sauntered in, and that's really been the issue for the Cats. They've struggled controlling the line of scrimmage on the defensive end. So far, Waukee, on their 3 touchdown drives, have just been dominant. They have 170 total yards of offense here in the first quarter.
Wyatt Robinson on for the PAT. It's up and good, and it makes the score 20-7. 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter as Jai White punches in his first rushing touchdown of the season for the Waukee Warriors on senior night. Waukee up 20-7 as the Bobcats will get the kickoff. All right, so we've seen Waukee. They're often efficient, but Beckett Baker did throw an interception. Drake Gersma came up with it. Bobcats with a bad punt, a fumble here tonight, almost returned for 6. Then you make that defensive play, but this has got to be a scoring drive right here. There's really no other option. You don't want that game to go like last week or just start sneaking away from you.
Well, and this is almost like deja vu, except for the kickoff return counted, but you get a big starting your offensive drive, get a ton of first downs, you're moving the football, then just a terrible turnover.
Yeah.
Cats have done a couple things a little bit better. They forced a turnover. They did get that touchdown. But this is a really important one. Can you take some time off the clock? Can you get a long, sustained drive ending with points?
7 seconds to go in this opening quarter as Wyatt Robinson is on for the kickoff. All powered here tonight by the Pauley Real Estate team, Sentry 21. Deep back to return, standing at the 5-yard line, Tyler England and Aiden Smitherman. And it's a squib kick. It'll get underneath the legs of Giles Smith. Smitherman picks it up right around the 15-yard line. And he'll come up the near side and only muster a few yards on the return as he's officially down at the 18-yard line, and that will draw an end to the first quarter. Bobcats with a huge kickoff return for a touchdown, but the Warriors punch one in a moment ago by Jai White, and they lead it 20-7. Second quarter next on KFJB-TV. Welcome back to Waukee, week number 6 of the high school football season. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside me to take a look at Aiden Smitherman, the lone scorer for the Bobcats here tonight, as he took it 94 yards to the house.
That little hesitation at the midfield.
Yeah, he got Wyatt Robinson on that one.
Yeah, he slowed down, and once he saw the defender slow down with him, he hit that extra gear, and off he went.
Bobcats off of the kickoff have it at the 18-yard line, going right to left on your radio dial as well as your TV screen on KFJB-TV. Niehaus puts Smitherman in motion, handoff. Left side, England will go. Tries to get around the edge, and boy, what a blow-up tackle by Clark Harrison, the senior linebacker, coming in and making a big stop on Tyler England. And hopefully he is all right. Looks like
Waukee player down.
Yeah. Not sure.
Is that 10?
Might be Thurston Nebo, the safety, and it is. It is Nebo who is the man down on the field after that play was over. So a 2-yard gain for Tyler England as we have a player down for the Waukee Warriors as we look at the replay, all brought to you by State Farm, Tyler Pashong Agency. And Nebo, I think, just kind of had somebody land on him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe he had the wind knocked out of him in that situation right there, but getting checked out. Looks like that right knee may be bothering him a little bit too.
It looks like he's going to be okay, but survived a little bit of bumper cars out there.
Bobcats 3-2 on the season. Waukee 1-4, but they've had a big test to begin the year. Johnston, which is ranked number 1 right now, Ankeny, Kennedy, Valley, DCG. A little bit of a gauntlet for Waukee in the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, and we saw how good Kennedy was last week, and that's their win, and we get to see DCG next week.
Bobcats will keep it with Niehaus. He rolls out to the far side of the field, and breaking out of a few tackles, he's over the 25-yard line. Maybe at the 26-yard line is where he's finally brought down. A gain of 6, setting up a short 3rd down and 2. And that's that big second down run you need to keep it short to set yourself up if you do want to go for it on 4th.
Yeah, if you're going to get 2 yards on first in this offense, you want to be at that 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. That's about as long as you want to be. The Cats are at 3rd and 2 right now.
Bobcats down 20-7 on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard on short 3rd down. Smitherman comes in motion. He'll go back to the right side of the offensive line to get set. 2 seconds on the play clock and a timeout. There was a little bit of miscommunication on the play. With 10:54 second quarter, we'll step aside with a timeout for the Bobcats on KFJB-TV. Have Van Wyck Wood Builders design and build the storage shed you need. So many different options to choose from. Van Wyck Wood Builders, just 5 miles south of I-80 in Grinnell on Highway 146. Online at vanwyckwoodbuilders.com.
Refinance your auto loan with Members First Community Credit Union. For a limited time, refinance your auto loan from another lender and receive 1% cash back up to $500. Scan the QR code to apply online. Call us or visit a Members First branch.
Go to AdletEngraving24.com. That's AdletEngraving24.com and grab your fall sports shirts. Adlet Engraving and Screen Print Company, 307 Riverside in Marshalltown. Go Cats!
Back in Waukee for 3rd down and 2 for the Bobcats. And Niehaus is going to come out to the near side, pick up the first down, but there's going to be a false start of the Bobcats. It's a first down run over the 30-yard line up to the 33. It's going to be a really nice run for Jamison Niehaus of 7 yards, but both the slot backs got moving a little bit early, so this is going to bring up a long 3rd down and 7 for the Bobcats.
And that's the frustrating. You get that illegal shift. And the Cats so far have been good on the ground, 71 yards so far on 15 carries. It's all been that fumble.
Yeah.
But now you get into the land of 3rd and long that you don't want to be in, and you definitely don't want to just kick it back to this Waukee offense.
Drive started at the 18-yard line. It's currently at the 21. So 3rd down and 7 with 10:35 second quarter. Bobcats will come set with 10 seconds on the play clock. Niehaus keeps it himself. Option play. Gets it around the edge to Smitherman. He bounced it inside. Should have went outside. He got the wide receiver blocking on the edge as Gersma and Bell set the edge, but he cut it back inside, and that allowed the Waukee Warriors to flow in and make the tackle. He had room to the near side, Dylan. Kind of a bad cut right there, unfortunately, that results in a 4th down coming up.
We've been together so long, we have one brain. We were seeing the same thing, that Aiden tried to cut it up, and he ended up running up the back of his blocker. Don't know if he would have got the first down, but it would have been quite close. He had that edge. It was beautifully blocked by the wide receivers.
Punt crew is out. Logan Hoffman gets the snap, and this punt much better as it floats up to the 50-yard line. A fair catch. Bobcats make contact. It was a late fair catch.
I didn't see the fair catch.
Yeah, I think it was at the very end, as even the officials maybe talking to him a little bit there too about it being a late fair catch. No flags will fly.
Cats have got it.
Warriors will have it. Yeah, it was just one of those real quick side ones. And Giles Smith was ready to make the tackle right there. So 49-yard line on their own side of the field after the Bobcat punt is where the Warriors will set up. They've had a good night offensively, a 21-yard touchdown rush, a 28-yard touchdown rush, a pick, and then a 10-yard touchdown rush by Jai White on their last offensive possession. Quick wide receiver swing out, good shifty move. Gets around a few Bobcats. Tackle is missed, and it's a first down run and a little bit more for Tavian White, as it looked like the Bobcats' Hunter Fours linebacker missed the tackle, and that sprung him for a big gain on first down into Bobcat territory all the way down to the 26-yard line, 27-yard line.
And you can just tell the Cats are reaching or leaning back into their heels, being found flat-footed, not tackling very well here tonight.
Quick play again. They go to the air this time. It is caught. Touchdown. 27-yard strike. Giles Smith beat on the coverage. And that is a huge pass play to O'Connor. Miles O'Connor with his first touchdown reception of the season.
And that thing was on the money. He dropped that dime in a bucket and put it right on the receiver there. Giles Smith was chasing, trying to get back into the play, but couldn't do so. But that's why you have to have those first downs. That's why you cannot get procedural penalties on 3rd down and short. It's why you've got to be able to read those blocks and take the ball, run the ball to where you need to go.
Beckett Baker to Miles O'Connor for the 27-yard strike. The PAT is up and good by Wyatt Robinson. It's 27-7, 9:23, second quarter on KFJB-TV.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you know you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
You talked about the big plays, Dylan, as we welcome you back to Waukee. 6 plays of 20 or more yards tonight for the Waukee offense, including O'Connor's 27-yard touchdown reception from Beckett Baker just a moment ago, and Waukee is up 27-7 now in the second quarter.
And what I love about what Waukee's doing is they're not nickel and diamond. They're going to play all out. If they've got a mismatch, they're going to exploit it. They're already up to 225 total yards here in the first half.
Kickoff powered by Sentry 21, Marshalltown's #1 home team. Smitherman fakes the reverse again, tries to get it to the near side, cuts it up the middle inside the hashes, and he's up over the 30 to the 33-yard line where he's finally brought down. So the Bobcat offense will go back out to work. You know, they've been good here tonight offensively, rushing the ball, 71 yards early. No passing so far. Maybe you try to catch Waukee, sucking them up to stop that run with 9:14 to go before halftime. You definitely want some momentum heading into the break as you do get the second half kickoff.
And for me, if I'm the Cats, I would throw on the early downs. I would not wait until it's, 3rd and 5. I would utilize both. I would do it on first down. If I was going to throw, if I was Goodman, I would throw on first or second down.
England is the B-back, bringing a man in motion. Niehaus keeps it himself as he sprints around the right edge of the line, and he is upended. After a gain of a few yards, looked like a gain of about 4 yards, setting up second down and 6 as we count to 9 minutes remaining in this first half.
He's up to about 42 yards here tonight on 7 carries, 5 yards a pop.
Kyle Smith, the split-out wide receiver on the near side of the formation. Gersma, Smitherman, the slot backs. The B-back is England. Niehaus will get underneath center. Bobcats looking to move the chains again here on second down and 7. They mark it after that gain of 3. Niehaus keeps it again as he'll go off of right tackle. He's up over the 40-yard line to the 41-yard line, so another nice gain of 4 yards.
He always seems to get that extra 1 or 2 yards. He falls forward all the time. And this is where they found themselves earlier. 3rd and 2. Good return from Smitherman. You now have the ball near midfield. You have opportunity to keep kind of rolling. They're gonna suck every ounce out of this play clock.
Well, we're now under 8 minutes to go. 3rd down and 2 for the Bobcats. Put Smitherman in motion. Hand off to England. He'll come near side. Cuts it back up the middle. He's back to the line of scrimmage, and then that might be it. Maybe to the 42 to gain a yard and make it 4th and 1. We'll see if the Bobcats keep the offense on the field, and they will.
You have to. Here you go. It's 27-7. You have not been able to stop them. You have got to take time off of this clock. So you're looking at the cat claw probably in this situation. It does a couple things, keeps you on the field, but also promises you're going to be able to get more and more time off of that clock, hopefully being able to score right before the half and getting the ball right back.
Defensive line pinching in as Niehaus goes for the cat claw, and they do have the first down. If you get the mark from the near side official, he will indicate a first down, and the Bobcats will move the chains up to the 44-yard line. It is a gain of 2 on 4th down and 1, and we do have a Bobcat down on the field. It looks like possibly Nathan Sinclair, the big right guard, is down on the field. Hopefully he is all right. As we take a look at that replay on KFJB-TV. Sinclair with his helmet off. And I didn't see what it was, Dylan, that maybe brought him down, but it looks like maybe a left knee is bothering him. Clock stops at 7:01 in the second quarter, 27-7. Coming up at halftime. It is our halftime reports, all powered by Scouting America, Mid-Iowa Council. Adventure on. We will get a look at our halftime stats, highlights, and adjustments, and we'll also get a scoreboard update thanks to our producer back in the radio studios, Jeff Brooks. Scoreboard updates all throughout the night, all brought to you by Central State Bank. I know a few scores coming in here tonight as the Bobcats get ready to go for first down and 10. Any big ones standing out so far early on?
So I think that for that 4A level, Pella 14, Newton 7. That's
wow.
That
is a big
one.
game. Yeah.
Valley up on Centennial 10-7, and then West Marshall is up 3-0 over Panorama.
Sinclair checks out. Bobcats try to go up the middle, but boy, there was big pressure in the backfield by Vincent Johnston, the senior defensive lineman. Blew that play up for a loss of 1. As Vincent Johnson so far this year, 11.5 total tackles, a sack, and an interception for the big boy.
You love a big guy turnover. Got one other score for you. East Marshall, East Buchanan tied at 0 at the end of first. East Marshall has thrown 2 interceptions in the end zone, ending drives.
Bobcats have still not passed it tonight. It's second down and 11. Waukee Warrior defense really filling the box here. The Bobcats will go to the air here. Niehaus scrambles out, evades the pressure, passes late. It's out of bounds, looking for Zane Moore down around the 40-yard line. And it is incomplete, bringing up third down and 11. But a little bootleg action right there for the Bobcat offense. I think that's going to be well-suited for Niehaus on those rollouts to buy him some of that extra built-in time.
Yeah, and there you know, he went out there, looked for more along the sideline. But I wouldn't be afraid if you roll out there, just because it's a called pass doesn't mean you can't tuck it.
Yeah.
And
might have had an opportunity to get near the first down marker if he would have done so. Third down and 11. Bobcats go back to pass. Quick pass to Kyle Smith. The pitch to England. Can he break through? No, he cannot. He's going to be short of the 50-yard line. It ends up not being as big of a gain as it looked like, but a great play call right there. Quick pass to Kyle Smith on the far side. He looked to pitch on the hook and ladder, but just not able, enough room. Good pursuit to the edges for Waukee. As coming up and making the tackle, Jaden Jeter.
I am very impressed with Waukee's defense is they stay home. They do not over pursue. They do not get sucked up with trickeration. Very disciplined.
Bobcats will punt with Logan Hoffman. It's a good angle punt down to the 18-yard line. Caught. They'll come back near side. Breaks a tackle. And there's a bunch of room on the far side. Anga Pramana, though, will drag him down at the 35-yard line. As on the return, I think that was Boston Onstadt. We do have a flag down on the field.
It looks like it's going to be a hold. Jackson Hinkle was dragged to the ground, so this will not start at near midfield. It should start probably within the 10-yard line for Waukee.
Yeah, it was at the 20-yard line is where they marked the flag at. So that will help swing, but a great punt there for Logan Hoffman, his third punt of the night. This one is best. And I didn't see, somebody slipped, but it was because of the blocking in the back. It looked like they were going to have him right there where he caught the ball at the 18.
And, you know, is it a slip if you get blocked in the back?
You have a good point, Dylan.
Yes. Same result, different definition.
Yeah, it was actually Giles Smith, the man after the Bobcats slipped. He was the man to get blocked in the back on that play. So deep on their own side of the field at the 10-yard line is where they'll set up shop. It's a sweep play to the near side for Hobb. We haven't seen him for a while. He'll be tripped up short of the 20-yard line, so it's a good run on first down as that will get them up to about the 18-yard line. A pickup of 8 to the sweep to the near side. Got a good block from his tight end.
Zach Wilder tackled him, and when he tackled him by the shoestring, it seemed that the heel of the runner came up and got him in the gut, kind of knocked the wind out of him.
Zach Wilder still down on the field. And that's tough. You got your shoulder pads on. They're already tight on you as it is. And then you get the wind knocked out of you like that. I'm imagining that's what happened.
Yeah, not fun, and it's just by the nature of how he tackled him. I am making an assumption, but he immediately grabbed his stomach, and that's not a broadcaster euphemism.
All right, let's get in a scoreboard update as Zach Wilder checked. Looks like he's up on his own. Dylan, what other scores do we have out there right now?
As we said, East Marshall, East Buchanan 0-0. East Marshall throwing 2 picks in the end zone. Then you have Newman Catholic up on BCLUW 21-0 in the second. Roland Story over Dike New Hartford 6-0 early in the first. Spencer up on Fort Dodge 7-0. There's 4 minutes left to go
the Tigers
there in the first. And then Waukee Northwest is up 35-0 over Ottumwa in the second quarter. That's why there was a bus.
2nd and 2. They will get it into the flat for the tight end in Jacobson, and he's out over the 30-yard line up to the 33. Big pickup right there for Jacobson, the tight end, as they just dropped it out there late to him, and he picks up all the room for a first down as they faked the handoff to Hobb and got the first down play. So first down and 10 at the 33. It's officially spotted. Shotgun for Baker. Drops back, looks to pass deep over the far side of the field. He's got Jeter, but it's over his hands. Incomplete as the Bobcats catch a break there, but Jaden Jeter looked to have a big play, but the timing just a little bit off. 2nd down and 10 at the 33 with 4:31 to go before halftime.
Yeah, he had him, and I'm not quite sure where Drake Gersma was going. Drake Gersma was cutting up from his safety spot as the ball was in the air. Didn't really track it well.
4 wideouts, 2 to each side of the formation out of the shotgun with a running back to his left. That's going to be Hobb. He's going to fight right back up the middle for a few yards. 3rd down and 9. It's only a gain of 1 as that run goes right up the middle for Hobb, as it's been tough for the Bobcats to really bottle him up here tonight.
Yeah, one thing I will say, the Cats have so much more fight than they had last Friday night.
Yeah.
The score isn't drastically different, but the product on the field is. And this is where I'm going, 86, right up the stinking seam.
He is in the slot on the near side in a 4 wideout, and a flag flies, and it could be a legal formation, I believe, on the Waukee Warriors. So 3rd down and 9. And that will back them up behind the sticks.
Kyle Smith, full-time student, athlete, and also
part-time official.
Volunteers to help out the officials there. He was doing his work. I don't know if those hours account for your silver cord.
Yeah.
But they should.
Well, I mean, it's like you went back to, since you became a broadcaster, you went back to school for a minor in turfology.
Turfology, I have a
Where would you rate this turf? A little shiny for my taste.
It's not
Southeast Polk and Waukee have that shiny turf.
Yeah, not for me.
Baker goes back to the air. Sack for the Bobcats. It's Nacho! Back to the 20. Inside the 20 now. They mark it at the 18-yard line. Huge play. How about it for the senior? Nacho running off the field as Ignacio Macias comes up with his first sack of the year on 3rd down and 15.
Borrow a pen from your neighbor and write that down as a sack for Nacho Macias. A great job. Got that low leverage and just ruined Baker's moment there.
You love when the little guys use their built-in leverage to
I think
benefit.
Nacho is what you would determine a short guy. I don't know how little he is. Huge punt there.
3 minutes to go. Bobcats let the punt go, and it's all the way down inside the 25-yard line to the 22-yard line, and then a Bobcat picks it up late as Giles Smith had seen that ball roll enough. He took matters into his own hands and then plowed down to the ground by 4 Waukee Warriors. I don't know if Ken Winkler, special teams coach, loves that, but
Duncan Furch wasn't excited about it. He took Giles Smith into his own hands and let him know.
I get why Giles Smith felt that way. He was very nonchalant about that, too. That's why, okay. Now I get why people are really not thrilled about that. And the ball marked at the 20, so that's where the Bobcats will start before halftime with 2:52 to go, trailing 27-7.
Nate Sinclair's not out there right now, but he's moving around the sideline. He looks to be moving a lot better, so I anticipate he's going to be okay to play here in the second half.
Bring a man in motion. Niehaus fakes left, now goes right up the middle, runs over a Waukee Warrior, dives for the first down. He has it at the 34. That'll move the chains, a 14-yard run for Niehaus.
And Niehaus now is up over 60 yards, 62 yards on 11 carries. He has really looked good tonight. He has made good decisions. He's been able to complete a pass, but also, that opportunity to just make good decisions.
Bobcats averaging 254 rushing yards per game. That is second best in 5A. They'll come near side on first down and 10 for England, and he'll pick up a yard or two to bring up second down and 8.
And England's played a lot in that B-back role, and it happened last week as well. Ferris played a lot in that B-back role early, and then didn't really play after the first couple drives. England he likes playing in that slot where he feels like he can get some different angles. And right now you wonder if they're going to move him around back there because he's been pretty bottled up by this Waukee defense.
Minute 45 remaining before halftime. Fake the handoff up the middle, go, pitch it out near side. Smitherman around the edge, finds a little seam. He's got the first down and a little bit more up to the 49-yard line. It's a first down chain mover for the Bobcats, gain of 13.
And watch this catch by Smitherman. He's able to get it almost disastrous. And at the end of the run, what I love, Ingra Pramana rushes up to the sideline to help Smitherman up. A lot of juice for the Bobcats here tonight.
A yard away from midfield at their own 49. Niehaus keeps it again. Late pitch to Gersma. Gersma gets around the edge. Bounces off a few tackles. Keeps those legs driving ahead. He's near the first down. We'll see. I think it's a gain of 9. It will be second down and 1 with 1:15 to go before halftime.
And this is where the Cats, they've got to kind of hurry. They only have the one timeout.
Yep.
And right now, what do you do here? You want to keep moving. You don't want to rush. You can't be in a hurry, but you've got to move with intention and some speed here.
2 wideouts. Niehaus drops back to pass. He's hit as he throws this one away. Bobcats don't get on it, but I believe his arm was coming
I think
forward.
It's a fumble.
I believe his arm was coming forward, so we'll see if the officials know. They do rule it a fumble. The Bobcat offensive line was just standing over the ball looking at it, and that's when Waukee hopped on it. It is a fumble. Niehaus had his arm hit as he tried to deliver that one away. Head coach Adam Goodman is out near the W logo at midfield talking to the officials about that fact if the ball was coming forward here. As we take a look at the replay on KFJB-TV. Yeah,
That's an incomplete pass. That's an incomplete pass. That is a poor call.
Definitely did look like it was coming forward as that ball was starting to come out.
And that's that big thing. If you get hit from the side and the ball ends up 4 yards in front of you, that there's physics involved, not to make it too academic.
Oh, tell me more about your science degree here, Dylan, as Jai White runs it on first down back to the line of scrimmage. He'll be tackled.
I did not get
I did not minor in science? When did you do this?
I did get a BS degree.
You majored in that.
That's right. I've got an honorary doctorate.
Timeout call by Waukee on second down and 10 with 45 seconds to go. Before halftime, you really don't want to give up a score here. 27-7 is you're trailing in this ball game right here. But, if it hadn't been for the 2 fumbles tonight now that have gone Waukee's way, you're looking at a little different game. I mean, that one drive, their first drive where they fumbled, they had all the momentum in the world going for you, driving down into Waukee territory.
And then just Jamison, you could feel you got to get that ball out a little bit quicker. But again, just a call that went against us that we all saw the replay, so you know what really happened.
Second down and 10. Empty out the backfield. Now they bring Hobb in motion. Fake the handoff. Baker is looking downfield. He's going to tuck it. Run to the near side now. A late pass, and it is over the hands of his intended wide receiver. Incomplete. He was going for O'Connor for the second time tonight for a big play. It'll set up third down and 10.
And Kyle got his eyes kind of caught between Did he need to come up to help in run coverage, allowed the receiver behind him? Baker's got a really nice arm.
It was actually 88. It was Xavier Gutierrez, the intended target. I thought it was 28, but no, 88 on the intended target there. So 3rd down and 10. Hobb stands to the left of his quarterback in Baker. Bring him tight end in motion. And a screen pass to the middle to Hobb. He's open, catches it at the 50, jukes a Bobcat. He finds a seam, and he might be fighting 6. Gersma trying to catch him late, pushes him out of bounds just before the end zone. 25 seconds to go before halftime, but Hobb with a wide running back screen in the middle of the field. He put that speed and shiftiness on display.
Yeah, the Bobcat defender slipped at midfield on that shiny turf, and sometimes if it's too easy to get to the quarterback, you got to hit the brake.
Yeah.
Cats have 25 seconds left in the half. Waukee has 2 timeouts left.
And now 1 as they'll take their second of the first half. Oh, no, Bobcats take the timeout. All right, so they wanted to make sure they get set up right here for 1st and 4. And do want to note that earlier I thought it was O'Connor that caught that, but it was Xavier Gutierrez who caught that last touchdown pass at 27 yards. So he was the man to haul that one in and nearly hauled in another one before Hobb with the screen pass took it all the way into deep Bobcat territory. So Bobcats burned their last time out here, setting up defensively. Waukee was down in a similar situation. Drake Gersma came up with a pick. You love that before halftime.
I don't anticipate the ball going in the air.
No, I don't either.
With 2 timeouts, with Baker have made a bad decision, I think you take the points and go home. It's such a razor-thin margin for the Cats. And just having a couple plays go against them here in the first half.
Drop back to look to pass. Bobcats nearly come up with a sack. Baker rolls out near side to the back of the end zone. Over the tight end. Evan Jacobson incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 4 with 18 seconds to go. Second quarter.
Everything I said was wrong, apparently, but I still think I'm right.
Well, that ground game has been potent tonight.
Yeah, you look at that ground game so far. Case Hobb has 97 yards of the 136 on the ground, and Case Hobb has 5 carries.
They'll go out of the pistol. Hobb is the back, and he'll go right up the middle, not even touched until he gets into the end zone. It's a 4-yard touchdown rush for Hobb, his 3rd of the night.
And this is it's an interesting one, just blown off the ball. This is really where the game has been really leveraged over to Waukee. They've been able to blow us off the ball in those type of environments when they've been able to catch it in space. They've been able to make some really big plays. This is where the blowout has happened, is right in those moments. Everything else, the Cats have done some really good things. They've fought well. But so far, this Waukee offense just been incredibly potent. In the first half, they already have 285 total yards on the night. 145 in the air, 140 on the ground.
Wyatt Robinson with the PAT. It's good as we get another look at that run by Hobb. Not touched going into the end zone. So Hobb with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. He has 101 on the ground on just 6 carries for Waukee. They have 140 rushing yards, 145 through the air.
Yeah, I don't anticipate them. I feel like this is going to be another squib kick, definitely by them. But nonetheless, Cats have been effective on that, on the kickoff return. Smitherman, of course, with the touchdown run early, also had a nice 35-yard return. There's a lot of good things from the Cats, and then there's just these big glaring mistakes, and it comes in the form of big plays and turnovers.
Our kickoff tonight is all powered by Sentry 21, Marshalltown's #1 home team, the polyrealestateteam.com. Tyler England and Aiden Smitherman back to return for the Bobcats, standing at the 5, and here comes a pooch kick. This one will be down to the 10. Smitherman will field it. He's going to fake the reverse to England, cuts it up the middle, trying to bounce outside, fights through a few Waukee Warriors up to the 30-yard line, and that's where he'll be driven down with 5 seconds to go in the second quarter.
I am literally just running this football and getting out of here.
Bobcats will receive the second half kickoff.
It is an absolutely gorgeous night.
Yeah.
It was pretty last week. Had those black bugs of death, though, biting. Those are gone.
75 degrees, still a warm night.
75 degrees out, but 75 also is on your offensive line here. Nate Sinclair
back in the game, yeah. Good moment there. Niehaus will get underneath center, and he'll kneel it down. And we will head to halftime. 34-7 is our score at the break. Bobcats have done some things well, but stopping the run by Ben Case-Hobb, not one of them. 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half and a bunch of big plays for Waukee. They have the big lead in week number 6. Our halftime report is coming up next. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Brown Shoe Fit has a great selection of athletic footwear. Choose from New Balance, On, Keen, Echo, and much more. Brown Shoe Fit can find the right shoe for every occasion for both men and women, including dress shoes, casual shoes, work boots, and European footwear, carrying multiple sizes and widths to ensure the best fit for you. Their expert-friendly staff is available to give you a personalized experience and can find the right shoes for what you need. Brown Shoe Fit, downtown Marshalltown, with you every step of the way.
Fall is officially delicious at your Marshalltown Dairy Queens. Try the all-new Maple Cookie Shake, sweet, creamy, or dive into the ultimate duo, the Oreo Reese's Blizzard Treat. 2 icons, 1 cup, pure magic. Craving pumpkin spice everything? The Pumpkin Pie Blizzard Treat is back, loaded with real pumpkin pie pieces and topped with whipped cream and nutmeg. Or keep the summer vibes going with the Choco-Dip Strawberry Blizzard Treat, a vacation in every bite. Hurry in, these fall flavors won't last forever. Happy tastes good at your Marshalltown Dairy Queens.
The Halftime Report, powered by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Welcome back to Waukee. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me here tonight. All right, in that first half, you felt pretty good, 7-7. But then after that, Ben Case-Hobb, big touchdown pass. I mean, it's just the big plays here in this first half of action.
Yeah, it's the big plays where we just, especially on those first 2 touchdown drives, it took a total of 4 plays. Defensively, later on, the Cats were able to get a punt. They were able to get a pick, and it came down to turning the ball over late in that second half. They got where the Cats could have looked at, cutting that to a 2-score lead right before the half just to get the ball back to be able to see if they could cut it even further, and that poor call, it was clearly a forward pass, now makes it a 4-score game with Waukee up at the half.
7-0 is how we started out our game here tonight as the Waukee Warriors took it 69 yards down the field, finished off by a 21-yard run by Ben Case-Hobb. And here was the play. It was just a little pitch sweep to the far side of the field, and he used his shiftiness and good blocking by his wide receivers downfield there, especially number 7, Jaden Jeter.
And we're just not a very good tackling team right now. We're kind of small. We've got some speed, but we're not good. We're not a good tackling team right now, and that makes it very, very difficult when you've got elusive runners in space.
Bobcats would answer back, as we saw a moment ago. Aiden Smitherman with a huge kickoff return of 94 yards. And that would get the game at 7-7. And then Ben K-Saab again, 13-7 with a 28-yard touchdown run. And Bobcats later on, as we just saw the pick by Drake Gersma, after an Aiden Smitherman fumble, it was returned by Waukee. Then Gersma in the end zone with a huge pick. At that point in time, Bobcats would punt it away after that drive, and we saw blocking in the back. And here it was right here as, well, it wasn't the worst block in the back, but Jacob Hayes will take that penalty any day of the week. So that brought it back, and then they would throw that pick in the end zone. Bobcats would punt after the pick, and then Jai White would get his first rushing touchdown of the game to make it 20-7 as he scampered in from 10 yards out. And it looked to be a good run right there it was. Bobcats would punt on their next drive. Waukee would go up 27-7 as Beckett Baker would team up with his wide receiver Xavier Gutierrez, his first receiving touchdown of the season to make it 27-7. Bobcats and Warriors would trade punts on the next two drives. Jamison Niehaus would fumble on a passing play in the second quarter, Dylan, which we showed the replay, and it definitely looked like the ball was coming forward, but Waukee got it back and then would go in for a Ben K-Saab 4-yard rushing touchdown. As we look at the passing play as Niehaus got it away, and it looked like the hand was coming forward, but the officials do give a fumble.
And that's where just the angle is simple physics, as we talk about, is like that's a throw. That's a throw. They don't see it that way, and they didn't ask us for the replay. So it's
well, they're mic'd up. They can talk to us.
That's right. And we'd be happy to give them our opinion.
And then Ben K-Saab with 25 seconds to go before halftime, he would punch in a late score out of the pistol right up the gut for a 4-yard touchdown run to put the score at 34-7. And that's where we would stand at halftime as the Bobcats nailed out the final 5 seconds of this first half of action. You're locked into the halftime reports. Get all brought to you here tonight by Scouting America, Mid-Iowa Council, Adventure On. We'll take a look at scores on a football Friday night. You're watching KFJB-TV.
I didn't really have much growing up, but I did have a mom, and she gave me a strong foundation. She signed me up for Scouts. I quickly fell in love with the outdoors. Showed me how to take responsibility, how to work with other people, and how to become a leader. That made me a better athlete on the field. Scouting made me the man I am today.
The Halftime Report, powered by Scouting America. Adventure On.
Welcome back to Waukee, week number 6 of a high school football season, and it's now time for a scoreboard update. All brought to you by Central State Bank. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you. Locations in Ames, State Center, and West Des Moines. Thanks to Jeff Brooks back at the radio studios, giving us our scores here tonight. Dylan.
East Marshall up on East Buchanan 14-0 at halftime after a big 50-yard bomb to Eli Burns from Jackson Boswell. Then West Marshall leads Panorama 16-0 at half as West Marshall looks to go 4-2. Northwest, Waukee Northwest up 49-0 at halftime against Ottumwa. Nevada leads Williamsburg 7-0 in the first. Roland Story up on Dike New Hartford 21-7. That's just going to half. Newton has come back to take the lead against Pella 21-14, and that's right at half. And then Ballard leads Des Moines North 21-0 at the end of one. Dowling up 17-0 over Cedar Rapids Kennedy. That's right before halftime. And finally, Ames is down to Council Bluffs Lincoln 21-7 in the second.
That is the scoreboard update. Again, all brought to you by Central State Bank. Let's take a look at the latest Radio Iowa poll, the Class 5A rankings. Waukee Northwest 5-0 on the season. Valley is number 2 at 4-1. Dowling, who the Bobcats will see at the end of the season in week number 9, they're 4-1. Ankeny is 4-1. Johnston is 5th. They beat this Waukee team to begin the season. Iowa City Liberty is 4-1. Sioux City East 4-1. Iowa City West at 4-1. Cedar Falls 9th. They're 4-1. And Southeast Polk, the defending, 4-time state champions.
There has not been another 5A champion in the history.
They're 3-2 and ranked 10th. It's hard to believe.
And they struggled to start last year as well. They lost Iowa City Liberty, I believe, this year. That 6 through 9, that is that legit is always what I wonder.
Number 10, Southeast Polk will not finish 10th.
No, they will not. That 6 through 9, the non-metro schools, we have not seen a lot of success because who had the 7 championships before Southeast Polk's run? That was Dowling. So you get 12. You look back, Iowa City High won it in 09 because they beat our Bobcats. But beyond that is there going to be somebody from outside the metro that actually makes some noise at the Unidome this year?
Iowa City Liberty, probably the best team to do it.
Yeah, and they were ones that showed out early, and they were one of Southeast Polk's loss, and I think you get the eyes of people voting when you beat that multiple-time defending state champ.
Well, you even look at a team like Waukee. They're 1-4 heading into tonight. And they have a tight end, Evan Jacobson, going to Texas A&M. They've got a corner going to North Dakota. They've got one of their offensive linemen, and Andrew Hine, going to Army. And there's other guys looking to go to the next level as well. And, even a team like this at 1-4, that just shows how loaded the Des Moines Metro is.
Well, you look at this, 11-point loss to Valley. I think Ankeny was a 10-point loss. Johnston was a 10-point loss. All these things are they're all top. I just mentioned top 5 teams.
Yeah.
So this is not it is such a fine line in the Metro with this talent of between being 2-7 and 7-2.
Yeah.
I would take a lot of those 3-6 Metro schools against your Cedar Falls, against your Iowa City West. It's just the nature of the beast.
We saw Valley, what did they go, 5-4 a couple years ago? They beat us to sneak into the playoffs. And then they ended up, I believe, in the title game against Southeast Polk.
They got hot. They finally got hot.
Yeah.
They had, Zay Robinson, all of those guys out there, and they started to make a run. And because there is talent, there just is, and we've talked about it a lot of times, I'm still a fan of the major metros being their own class.
Yeah.
It's different football. And that's not to discount any effort or work that is being put in at any level. But even Ames is getting drilled again here tonight. They cannot compete at that level.
Well, and this year what's changed in the redistricting in the past 4 years, number 1 in your district would not play number 6, but now you do. So the Bobcats will take on Dowling. In years past, that's been a game where it's probably a little bit more of the Bobcats level, like a Des Moines Lincoln or somebody in that range. And so that is a little bit of that difference where, you may be getting an extra game in your season that who's it really benefiting at the end of the day?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of coaches in 5A, especially outside of that top 16 or outside of the Des Moines Metro, would probably have kind of a similar feeling.
And you really just hope that they figure out a way to look at that, because we can do all the ratings, metrics, and all that you want. Class size, free and reduced, how many BMWs are in the driveway. You can do all of that. Here's the reality, and I'll just say this. This is clear as day. If you are in the Des Moines metro area, it is different football than if you're in the Quad Cities, if you're in Iowa City, if you're in your Cedar Falls, Sioux City, Council Bluffs. The best brand of football is played in the metro, and that should be a class to itself. Waterloo schools combining, if they want to jump in, Quad Cities, it's just a different level. And then you get here on that Friday night, I think at a level it doesn't help anybody.
And football is so much different than other sports.
Yeah.
Basketball, you take that. Bobcats almost upset a state championship Waukee basketball team 5 years ago, I believe it was.
Yeah.
football is just its own brand and its own thing, and it is awesome to watch some of these teams. I love watching the playoffs when you see, Southeast Polk and Valley or Dowling or whoever taking each other on. Great game.
Because it's a different level of football.
It is a different level, and not everyone's equal.
and just a few examples of you get different things. We've called wins, basketball wins at Dowling. We've called wins at Waukee. We've called at that level. You get a couple dudes, it works. But at football, where you need to be,
it's 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Cats are playing a lot of guys two ways. They're playing their quarterback two ways. Yeah. Waukee is not playing a lot of two-way players here, so there's
a few
totally
sprinkled
different.
in, which makes a big difference. And that was one thing we talked to Jared Carlson of that 2009 team when they went to the Dome. He mentioned, he was one of the few players that did go both ways for the Bobcats that year, and that's what that offers you in that level of competition.
Yeah, and I was looking at his stats, his stats were stupid. Just Chance Creekmer threw for almost 4,000 yards, almost 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Carlson had almost 20 receiving touchdowns. Just a stupid amount. And even then, I don't know if that – you look at those things, that's just 16 years ago. But since I've been calling for 6 years, since we've lived in Iowa for 11 – it's changed
Welcome back,
drastically.
by the way.
Thank you. The ticker tape parade can come anytime. But
by the way, it is your 25th anniversary of graduating from East Marshall. What are they doing for you tomorrow night?
I assume I will be applauded, lauded. No,
loathed.
We're going to go where I've already been this week.
Okay.
We're going to go inside a Wayward Social at Rosie's.
All right, that is the 5A rankings in the latest Radio Iowa poll. At halftime, Bobcats trailing 34-7. When we come back, we'll get our halftime stats. This is Halftime on KFJB-TV, all powered by Scouting America, Mid-Iowa Council.
Looking for top-notch eye care close to home? Eye Care Associates, with offices in Marshalltown, Conrad, and Toledo, has proudly served Central Iowa since 1990. Their expert team provides eye exams for all ages, designer frames, contact lens fittings, and treatment for glaucoma, cataracts, and other eye conditions. With advanced technology, a welcoming staff, and convenient online booking, your next visit is easier than ever. Visit visionsource-marshalltowneyecare.com today. Eye Care Associates, your vision is their priority.
The Halftime Report, powered by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Welcome back to Waukee High School. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me. Now time for halftime stats, all powered by Ken's Transmission of Marshalltown.
Cats have 122 yards of total offense, 118 coming on the ground. They've been good on the ground, except for those. They have those two fumbles. But Jamison Niehaus leads with 13 carries at 61 yards. Tyler England, 7 carries for 29 yards, or one pass play is Jamison Niehaus to Tyler England for 4 yards. On the flip side, Waukee almost 300 yards of total offense, 285 to be exact. Our stats shifted a little bit. It's 183 yards in the air on 8 of 13 passing from Beckett Baker. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And then on the ground, it's really been Case Hobb. He has 63 yards on the ground on 5 carries, 3 touchdowns. Xavier Gutierrez with the 27-yard touchdown reception, his first on the year.
That is our halftime stats. Again, all brought to you by Ken's Transmission of Marshalltown. All right, adjustments for the second half.
I think defensively, mix in a little bit of the blitz. They've done a good job in that second quarter late to get Baker moving. They tackled a little bit better, got some negative plays there. Offensively, I think that you got to keep going. Jamison, call your number, but I think you've got to move England out of that B-back role consistently. I think you need to try him in some slot, maybe throw on first down a couple different times.
That is our halftime stats and adjustments. Again, all powered by Ken's Transmission of Marshalltown. Bobcats trailing 34-7 at the break. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Have you ever seen what it takes to fix a transmission? It takes a lot of patience, a lot of experience, and a whole lot of talent. At Ken's Transmission, they have all the above. Family owned and operated with over 62 years of experience in all areas of transmission, keeping your vehicle shifting smoothly and routine maintenance, repair and replacement, including automatic and manual. For reputable service you can trust, Ken's Transmission. Ken's Transmission at 306 East Anson Street in Marshalltown is a proud sponsor of the Marshalltown Bobcats.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is powered by First Rate Real Estate, FirstRateTeam.com. Adland Engraving and Screen Print Company, AdlandEngraving.com. Assured Partners, power through partnership. Your Marshalltown Dairy Queens. And Brown Shoe Fit, with you every step.
Welcome back to Waukee High School. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me. David Braga, our producer tonight, as Elijah Bond and Todd Steinkamp. The Todd father roaming the sidelines tonight. Xavier Dose on our stats. And Jeff Brooks back at the radio studios. I think it's a good thing that Keith is normally our camera guy on the sideline because he is blowing. He's not here tonight, and we miss you, Keith. But I'm kind of glad he's our camera guy because he now I know what he'd be doing if he wasn't here every week. He'd be blowing up our live chat. By the way, be sure to like our broadcast here tonight and support our coverage. We really appreciate it. And comment here tonight. Tell us where you're watching from. Maybe you're in Keith's living room with him, live streaming.
One of the things we were talking.
Subscribe, by the way,
yes,
as well. We appreciate
subscribe.
it. Yeah, don't miss any of the action. Turn on those alerts as well.
And we were talking to somebody last week. We know Holden Rice family watches from Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah,
you got a lot of different families watching from throughout the nation. Means a lot to us. A cool way that we can help bring your family to you just through Bobcat football.
I always love that. I mean, Ace Holmes came and played at Marshalltown his senior season. Yep. He was from Georgia, and they had watch parties down there.
They did watch parties for Bobcat Live.
Yeah.
That's what I loved. It
yeah.
had 40 people watching Bobcat Live from Georgia.
If you do that, though, everybody get on YouTube on your phone and watch for 30 seconds so we get the individual view as well.
What we needed to do, we really should have leveraged some ad sales down in Georgia for Bobcat stuff.
Maybe we could get Ludacris to, voice some of those sponsorships as well.
Hey, get the varsity to maybe sponsor some food up here. Had a creamsicle shake from there.
Oh, wow.
Are you familiar with varsity?
No, I'm not.
So it's kind of like an old school drive-in. It's a hamburger hot dog thing. They have
down in the South?
It's in Atlanta. It's right by the Georgia Tech campus. There's a few of them now, but very, very famous. It's worth it if you're driving through Atlanta and you want to get out of the traffic for a hot minute, see Georgia Tech's campus, go eat at the varsity.
Oh, wow. Someone just commented, Keith, have my children.
Things are looking up for Keith Stewart in Marshalltown today.
Who knew that the live chat would be so positive in the end for Keith?
Oh, my.
What I'm saying is, people love Keith.
Yep.
He's drilled by every sort of ball you can think of. Footballs, basketballs, softballs. Kate Sandvik loves to try to drill Keith with a foul ball.
And maybe Cupid's arrow here in the Bumble, is that a dating app?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, see, you get Bumble ads, something like that out there.
Yeah, I love that.
Only farmers for Jeff Brooks back in the studio.
I think with 3 kids and a wife, yes. I think he's okay.
Jeff doesn't personally need it,
but people
it's
like
a shout out for the harvest and for my farming community.
Yeah.
Myself, I got together with my wife when we just talked face to face.
Get the phones out. I don't think you can bring a lighter anymore to the school. I don't think that's... Somebody took a lighter to Walmart.
Oh, in Altoona.
In Altoona.
Yeah,
that was not a good situation there.
No, do not do that.
No. Cell phone's a much safer option these days, I guess.
On senior night, the crowd was packed. Might be that the senior night festivities are over or the 34-7 score. The Waukee side has definitely thinned out a bit.
Ready to start the second half. It's probably good we don't continue to read the live chat.
No.
Kickoff is all powered by Sentry 21. We are underway in week number 6 of the second half. Smitherman catches it deep on his own side of the field, and he reversed it to England, and that is not going to pay off for the Bobcats. Stopped at the 5-yard line, and that's where the Cats will start this drive.
That was a snake bit from the beginning, from the Willie Mays catch by Smitherman to just... It's one of those that if you just sit at home and wait for it to come back to you, it's that slow pace that you're inviting the defenders. It's a negative part of that fake reverse is that it slows everything down.
Hey, big shout out to Janet. Grandma and Grandpa are watching in Waterloo tonight, and she loves the Bobcats and seeing their 3 grandsons, JJ, Lars, and Jackson. So Schoenfelder action there.
She got even to watch a little bit more in our players who to watch early in the pregame. Got to see a little bit more on John. So
first drive of the second half for the Bobcats. They'll sprint it out to the near side to England, and he'll get over the 5-yard line. A little bit more action. And Jacob Hayes came in worrying there was maybe a little extracurricular there after the tackle, but going off of left side of the offensive line.
And Hinkle's got to come off. He was blocking with no helmet at one point.
So reserve into the game. Robert Nino is in, the senior offensive lineman, to replace him. Levi Bell also checks in at wide receiver.
And
we see that helmet come off late there.
Apologize to Levi because I will call him Drake Bell.
Him and Cale Seiler got a little tangled up there, and it looks like we are going to have a timeout on the field as the Bobcats will take their first timeout of the second half. 2nd and 7 when we come back, 11:07, third quarter on KFJB-TV.
Good call tonight, man. You too? You think what I'm thinking? Let's go to Legends for a Bobcat burger.
Hi, guys. What are we hungry for today?
I think we're going to do 2 Bobcat burgers. Whether it's pregame or postgame.
Or during the game, it's Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
Big shout out to Legends right there. We were able to star in our commercial. I forgot Keith mentioned earlier tonight in our comment, bite that burger, Dylan. It's a great Bobcat burger. We appreciate Legends and their support of Bobcat Athletics here on KFJB-TV. And we always love a shot of Dylan stuffing his face. Here goes England right up the middle and going nowhere, not able to push ahead on 2nd down and 7, back to the line of scrimmage. They might give him about a half-yard of a gain here, but not a whole lot, bringing up 3rd and long.
And that Bobcat burger is a big one. So our very own statistician Xavier Doe's got quite a bit of that after the video shoot. It was a ton of fun to shoot. That beginning credit, you would think, that didn't take you very long to shoot, did it?
Oh, no.
In the vehicle.
7 tries.
7 giggling. The car light turning off.
The blooper reel could be its own commercial. 10.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Bobcats trailing 34-7. Long 3rd down and 6. And back up the middle they go again, and that one going absolutely nowhere. A stone wall on that defensive line is Bobcats will have to hustle on to the field, their special teams unit, so their first drive of the second half not going anywhere as Logan Hoffman is out to punt it away.
That was a discombobulated first drive. Not at all what you want to see coming out of the half.
Hoffman standing in the middle of the end zone. He fields it cleanly. Punt is away. Another good one here as he angles it to the 40. Fair caught. And that is where Waukee will begin this drive. So a good punt right there for Hoffman, but again, deep in his end zone, he had to get that one away. This is going to set up Waukee with great field position already, up 34-7, 9:44 third quarter.
Yeah, just another short field for Waukee. You can see in the last couple punts why Logan Hoffman is now the punter. He just catches it a little bit more cleanly. Shongalungu has the biggest leg on the team, and it's not all that close. But the little nuances of punting may be a little bit more raw for him.
Beckett Baker, the senior quarterback, back out there to drop back and pass, and he is wrapped up and brought down. Ball comes out. Bobcats scrambling for it. Hunter Forrest watches it as it goes into the Waukee bench. But a sack all the way back near midfield as Jackson Hinkle wraps him up.
They're going to call it an incomplete pass.
Oh, they're calling it incomplete. Wow.
I thought he was in the grass.
That should be intentional grounding then.
He had Case Hobb over there, and so 22 was in the arena, but he was in the grass. That is a tough call.
Missed the end of that replay there as we ran it on KFJB-TV. As here we get another look at it. As Hobb, oh boy, yeah, that's definitely not a fumble, but that's generous saying Hobb was in the area. But nevertheless, it's second down and 10. Great pressure by that defensive line for the Cats. Low snap. Baker brings it up, fires out near side. Kyle Smith hits the turf, not able to get out there and make the tackle, and he is down on the ground right now. Hopefully he is all right, but the catch is made, and it will be a first down chain mover, as I believe that was on the catch, Boston Onstad, to move the chains with 9:29 on the clock, third quarter, 34-7, Waukee leading. We have an injury timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
At Lennox Employees Credit Union, we take care of you like family. We're all about personal service, going above and beyond for our members. Whether it's home, auto, or other financial services, we're here for you. Take advantage of our always low interest rates or exclusive perks being a member can bring. Unlike others within personal services, at Lennox Employees Credit Union, we're all about that personal service. We find great joy meeting with our members to discuss their financial needs or big dreams. It's easy to become a member. Stop in today. Lennox Employees Credit Union, a family place.
Well, a good sight. Kyle Smith able to get up on his own and get off the football field as he looks to be okay. Was a catch by Onstad. As that moves the chains, a 10-yard pickup through the air. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line for Baker out of the shotgun. Ball on the near side hash. Brings a man in motion. That's Slider, the wide receiver. He'll go deep. And it's back to Onstad. Dives for the end zone and makes the catch in for a 31-yard strike. Giles Smith got beat. And it's 6 for Waukee, 47.
Yeah, he just got beat. Second time he's gotten beat. Went top side on him. Beckett Baker was able to get enough time, and he just went up top. And Giles Smith got beat to the house, and he's frustrated. No safety help. And Baker's done a better job of finding those one-on-one opportunities to push the football down the field.
Onstad coming into this game, no big statistics, but he's made a couple of big catches on this drive. One for 10 and another for 31. It's 6 for Onstad as Beckett Baker fires a 31-yard touchdown, and Waukee 41, Marshalltown 7. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
Tough start for Beckett Baker, but he is warming up 10 of 15. He did have that interception early, but now has thrown 2 touchdown scores. The last one to Onstadt. He has 224 yards of passing tonight, and it's now 41-7. Waukee with 9:22 third quarter. Kickoff is away, all powered by Sentry 21. It will roll into the end zone as Smitherman will watch it. And with that, we'll get a quick scoreboard update, all brought to you by Central State Bank. A big one on Grundy Center tonight.
Yeah, Grundy Center, I believe, has won 44 or 45 games in a row. They're in the third quarter with South Hardin. It's 7-6 Grundy Center. Then East Marshall up 31-0 over East Buchanan. Some big games also. Waukee Northwest up 63-0 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Newton up on Pella 28-20. Fort Dodge leads Spencer 26-14 with 3 minutes left in the third. And West Marshall continues to lead Panorama 16-0.
Bobcats start at the 20. Niehaus rolls out to the far side. He's brought down in the backfield. It's a loss of 3, 2nd and 13. As we count near 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. This defensive line for Waukee has seemed to turn it up just a notch here in the second half.
Well, and right now the Cats have really kind of come into themselves. They're not trying a whole lot of different things. And because of those 3 and outs, Waukee does such a good job of staying home.
Yeah, Vincent Johnson has been a little bit of a wrecker inside at the defensive line spot. Bobcats come near side, end around to Smitherman. He's got the edge, hesitates, and he'll be short of the first down, but it's a good run on 2nd and 13. He'll get about 10 yards and make it a manageable third down.
Yeah, that's a great job by Smitherman. A nice late pitch by Jamison Niehaus. Good blocking on the perimeter. Number 2 is able to pick it up. And one thing with Smitherman, he's been up and down in the run game, but he has 5 touchdowns this year in total. He's got a rushing touchdown, has a receiving touchdown, 3 return touchdowns.
So it's a 9-yard gain, 3rd and 4. Bobcats with 2 wide receivers. Split out. Little miscommunication, but Niehaus keeps it. Around the edge he'll go. He has the first down, keeps the legs moving over the 35. And up to the 36-yard line before he's finally hauled down. Another good run right there for Jamison Niehaus, especially once he gets around that edge.
I think that's actually a little wrinkle that they have in that, where they'll bring that slot in and then you kind of reverse course.
Bobcats on the far side hash, driving towards the south end zone, looking for their first offensive score of the night. Fake the handoff to England. Pitch out again near side to Smitherman. And he'll be ridden out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And that is a nice gain on first down, as that will be a gain of about 6 yards.
And this has been Smitherman's most consistent night running the football here this year.
Kyle Smith, the lone wide receiver in the formation, split out now to the bottom side on your TV screen. England still in there at the B-back. Niehaus surveys. Now he gets underneath center on 2nd down and 4. Brings a man in motion. Handoff England. Fumbles the ball in his hands but keeps with it. Moves ahead. He's got a first down run up to the 48-yard line. He didn't quite get a clean handoff right there, but brought it in and made a nice one cut to shoot north and south and get the first down.
He carries the ball so low, and that's the whole thing. Whenever watching it, he carries it around his waist so often. You
got to get that Tiki Barber,
get it
right
up
up in the armpit,
right on the sternum, armpit sternum. It's where all the best things live. It's the waist, no good.
England, handoff near side, makes one cut. He's got nearly a 10-yard gain, and 11 yards is what it will be first down run. Boy, very good at finding the hole and then using that explosiveness to get through it quickly.
Yeah, you see the vision there. You see the speed. He's able to come back and do it, and it's been a lot of 1-2 yard gains for him tonight. He's been able to pull off a couple chunks there. He's up over 60 yards rushing here tonight.
Bobcats now at the 41-yard line of Waukee. Kyle Smith to the far side. He came off the field for a short time, but is back out there. Fake the handoff, roll out to the far side. Looking in the flat, Jacob Hayes off the fingertips. Niehaus got rid of it, and he was hit right as soon as he threw it away. And again, it's Vince Bunkers, the senior linebacker, getting in there. He was the one that forced that incomplete pass earlier that was ruled a fumble.
And that is, again, not to keep belaboring the point, but the fact is, for a team that throws the ball 4 or 5 times, you expect, if you're running that much, a couple naked boot actions that you'll have clear passing lanes. Yeah. Waukee has not allowed that. They have stayed home on that backside every time.
Niehaus drops back like he's going to pass and then brings it down. He's back to the line of scrimmage, but big old 97 Vincent Johnson is in there to make the tackle. No gain for Niehaus, bringing up 3rd down and 10 now.
Cats right now have 161 yards of rushing offense, 4 in the air.
Bobcats look to the sideline as now they'll check their wristband. Ball sitting at the Waukee 41. There's the red and blue looking for a big play on 3rd down and 10. Just one wide receiver in the flex bone. He'll drop back to pass. Pressure again and again. It is Bunkers with the big play as he sacks Jamison Niehaus back at the 47-yard line. Loss of 6 yards, and they sent the blitz off the edge.
And no one accounts for him. And that's the thing, is that there's, in that play, there is not a tight end there. There's not a slot back that stays in. And it's just free clearance to the quarterback.
Logan Hoffman back to punt for the Bobcats on 4th down and 16. Punt is away. This one angled to the near side of the 10. It's fumbled. Bobcats try to scramble down and get back onto it, but I believe Onstadt was able to cover it up, and he does, as it will bring it back to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's a big missed opportunity for the Cats. It would have been great to see him on the end. Now they've got him back inside the 10.
Look at the replay here as Onstadt just kind of caught that one off to the side. I don't know if it was just kept working away from him or what, but he was able to make the recovery. 41-7. Bobcats trailing 5:31 in the 3rd quarter. Out of the shotgun, Baker fires quickly out to the near side to O'Connor. Caught. He's got the first down and finally driven down at the 25. 26-yard line is where he's finally spotted with 5:22 in the 3rd quarter. It's been those quick passing plays, and then their athletes have just been able to find that space in the open field.
Well, and it helps that they block it really well on the perimeter, and then their offensive line kicking them in, the wide receivers kicking them out, giving these big interstate-sized lanes.
16-yard gain moves the sticks, and now they're going to hand it off right up the gut. And I believe that's Hobb in there at running back again, and it is. He's got a first down carry of 11 yards as they're now up to the 37-yard line.
And this is so quickly. You go from having them inside the 10 to they're almost at midfield.
Yeah. 3 wide receivers. Tight end Jacobson on the left side of the line, out of the shotgun for Baker. Rolls out. Now he reverses field to the far side. Throws in the flat. It's caught. Logan Hoffman with the tackle as the reception is made at the 44-yard line and pushed out of bounds. And coming up with the catch on that far side of the field. I didn't see who that was, Dylan.
I did not get a good look at him either.
Not sure if that was 5. Might have been Clark Harrison. And now we have a flag flying before the snap here on 2nd down.
Max Roach, I believe, had that catch.
Max Roach, all right. And at the 49-yard line is where the ball will be spotted. Offside on the Bobcats, and a free first down for the Waukee Warriors.
Yeah, it was senior wide receiver Max Roach.
Four wide receivers set for Baker. He fires out to Jacobson, the tight end, at the 40-yard line and pushes ahead for a few yards deeper into Bobcat territory at the 37-yard line. He just sat down there, run a 10-yard hitch route, and then was able to pick up a few more with his big, lengthy size out there as Jacobson standing at 6'7", 236, and the Bobcats will jump offside again. This time, Talon Halstead on the clap from the quarterback, and Baker jumps offside. That'll be first down and 5 as Halstead will come out of the game, as replacing him is Innocent Aishungalungu. And that's the last thing you want to do is help out Waukee.
No, they don't need it. They are carving up this field tonight.
4.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Deep shot near side. O'Connor wide open, caught at the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown. 34-yard strike, and nobody was within 5 yards of O'Connor. And a huge blown coverage. Drake Gersma on the near side.
Well, Giles Smith released him at the line of scrimmage as if he thought he was supposed to have the boundary on the front side, and Drake Gersma was supposed to go with him. There seems to be in the last 2 touchdown passes there some miscommunication with Giles Smith and with Drake Gersma.
$47-7 now, PAT pending. 4:26 to go in the third quarter. On for the PAT is Wyatt Robinson, and it is good again. 48-7 now our score. 4:26, third quarter. Baker firing to the end zone, his third passing touchdown of the night. This time he hits Miles O'Connor, his first touchdown reception of the season. It's week 6. You're watching Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
Go to AdletEngraving24.com. That's AdletEngraving24.com and grab your fall sports shirts. Adlet Engraving and Screen Print Company, 307 Riverside in Marshalltown. Go Cats! Have Van Wyck Wood Builders design and build the storage shed you need. So many different options to choose from. Van Wyck Wood Builders, just 5 miles south of I-80 in Grinnell on Highway 146. Online at VanWyckWoodBuilders.com.
Refinance your auto loan with Members First Community Credit Union. For a limited time, refinance your auto loan from another lender and receive 1% cash back up to $500. Scan the QR code to apply online. Call us or visit a Members First branch.
4:26 remaining in the third quarter. Up on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard, Bobcats trail 48-7. Sentry 21 kickoff is away as it will go into the end zone. As Aiden Smitherman tried to field it, but he was standing in the end zone. So the Bobcat offense, 2 punts on their 2 second-half drives. Will try to put something together here, down by 41.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be who we are. You looked at this last drive; they had some good things happening. What comes down to, they have not been able to pass block at all, and this has been for a little while. It started in East, just the inability, that backside pressure on any passing down.
Bobcats set up at the 20-yard line. England is the B-back handoff. Left side guard. He'll follow, and he'll scramble ahead for a gain of about 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up.
And that Cats are up in that 157 yards of rushing there.
Two wide receiver formation on second. Kyle Smith, Zane Moore. Actually, it's Levi Bell to the near side. Kyle Smith to the far side with England the B-back. Fake the handoff. Smitherman comes around. Pitch on the near side edge. He has the first down. He'll move the chains. And he's up at the 36-yard line before he's pushed out. So that'll move the chains for the Bobcats there. With 3.5 minutes to go, third quarter, and a running clock now.
Smitherman up over 30 yards on 6 carries here tonight.
You were mentioning that Waukee Northwest game.
Yeah, they are beating Ottumwa. Ottumwa wishes that bus would have stayed lost. It's 70-0.
Make the handoff inside. Niehaus will go to the far side edge. Elite pitch to Gersma. He's got the first down and pushed out of bounds just over the 45 in Waukee territory at the 44-yard line. One thing I like about Gersma is he might not have the fastest speed on the Bobcats, but boy, he keeps those legs moving, and he's always looking for a few extra yards here and there, and that right there did a great job getting to the far side edge and had good spacing with his quarterback in Niehaus as well.
Yeah, I always look at that pick in the end zone, what he does with the bat. He plays football almost like a basketball player. He's got really good ball skills.
He glides out there.
Yes, he does.
Niehaus will run right up the middle, and he might have a first down run on first down. And he'll be at the 33. It's a gain of 11 yards on first down as we near 2 minutes in the third quarter.
And there's a lot of – it feels like an 80% done puzzle. It's a lot of these drives. Like, you kind of know what it can look like. It looks good, but you know it's not quite finished.
You can't find that corner piece.
And you just can't find the corner piece.
Yeah. England stays in at the B-back with 2 wide receivers for the Bobcats. Make the handoff up the middle to England. Pitch out to the near side to Smitherman. He's at the 30, outside the numbers, down inside the 20. Pushed outside in the 15-yard area, but there's a flag on the far side of the field. It might be coming back.
And that's on the far side of the field. It was away from the play. I wonder where that is.
Just over a 15-yard carry for Aiden Smitherman as he sweeps to the near side. And still waiting on the officials and the call here.
It doesn't look good with everyone backing up.
That is.
Offense number 19. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And we get the.
Got to call it on both sides.
Yep.
According to one of the fans. I know who it is. We probably all know who it is.
Yes. The voice of the Bobcats.
In the stands.
Yes, in the stands.
48-7, Bobcats trailing in the third quarter as the clock continues to count. England handoff left guard. He rips through, but he also loses the football. And there's a scrum for it down at the 34-yard line, but the Bobcats saying they get it back as England is able to drop down on it. Yeah.
Just getting a little. It got a lot of that yardage back.
Be second down and 11 at the 34. Bobcats checking to the near side for the play call as it'll come in here. Kyle Smith to the far side. Levi Bell to the near side. Split out for the Bobcats. They're going to go to Kyle Smith here. Nope, they're going to pitch it. Smitherman gets it, bobbles it high, brings it in. And nearly a face mask as he's driven down at the 29-yard line. And it's going to be a long third down setting up for the Bobcats, but that run definitely did help them out a little bit as it's a gain of 5.
Yeah, and this is definitely 4-down territory. You've got 2 plays to get 6.
As we look at the replay, all brought to you by Tyler Prashong Agency State Farm. Nearly a face mask, but not quite, and that will send us to the fourth quarter. Bobcats trail 48-7. Scoreboard update when we come back on KFJB-TV.
YMCC, competitive athletics, affordable tuition, on-campus living, online courses plus 2 campus locations, unique programs, career training, small classes, short-term hands-on training. Choose MCC.
We are back in the Des Moines Metro to begin the final 12 minutes of week number 6. Time for a scoreboard update, all brought to you by Central State Bank.
In the fourth quarter, Ankeny and Johnston are tied at 14 to a top 5 matchup there. East Marshall just went final, beats East Buchanan 31-8. Williamsburg up on Nevada 12-7. Newton leads Pella 28-20. That Waukee Northwest 70, Ottumwa nothing. Valley leads Centennial with 2 minutes to go in the third, 24-7. And Newman Catholic up 47-0 over BCLUW. Grundy beats South Hardin 14-12.
3rd and 6 handoff to England. He'll fall ahead for a yard. It will bring up 4th down and 5 as he tried to go off the left side. But another good pursuit by the Waukee Warrior defense. It looks like there's a few reserves sprinkled in with a few starters still out there for the Warriors, up 48-7. As we do have a running clock, and the Bobcats will go for it on 4th down and 5 at the Waukee 28. Pack it in tight here. Wide receivers bunched in on the end of the line. And a pitch out to the near side. They'll go to Gersma. He's trying to find around the corner. Spins out of a tackle. He might have the first down. He's up to the 20. And it is going to be a chain mover, a gain of 7 on 4th and 5 for Drake Gersma. But again, just kind of floating around out there. I think the ball did come out late as Aiden Smitherman comes up with it at the end of the play, but it is a first down.
They had whistled it dead before that. And just to clarify that, Grundy Center South Hardin score is still in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he was stood up and the ball was ripped out late, but you're right, the forward progress had been stopped. So 1st and 10, Bobcats at the 21-yard line. And a pitch late to Smitherman. He'll go to the far side edge, trying to get outside the hashes, but driven down, and a flag will fly out late. It looks like it's going to be on the defense here. And that will get the Bobcats into the Ethington Heating and Cooling red zone as we'll wait for the officials to mark this off. All brought to you by Ethington Heating and Cooling. We're not comfortable until you are. And it is an incidental face mask, a 5-yard penalty for the Bobcats. And it will be an automatic first down with 10:03 here in this fourth quarter of play.
I've been impressed with Drake Gersma, not just with the ball in his hands, but on the outside blocking as well. He blocked that well again. He's not afraid to get physical as he's played more and more offense, specifically starting in that East game, that Des Moines East game. I think he's done a really nice job.
Yeah, running the slot back like the point guard on the hardwood. Handoff near side. England trying to stretch it out to the edge, but he is going to be pushed back inside. He'll end up picking up a few yards on first down to bring up a short second down and about 2 yards to go. So they gave the 5 yards there, so it's 1st and 5. It'll be second down and about 2 as they mark it a gain of 3.
And Drake Gersma was on last night with Zane Moore, and he talked about one of the things he's worked on this year on the offseason for football, but really for basketball as well, is just getting stronger. And you can tell that physicality is there, which is a nice sign.
Bobcats will go cat claw on second down, and pushing ahead is Niehaus. He keeps the legs driving down to the 5, and now the 4 is where they will spot it. A 9-yard gain as the Bobcats get down into a 1st and goal situation here in the Ethington Heating and Cooling red zone.
And this is just a really great hustle, great just pushing his legs, keep it going, not giving up. But there are just a lot of things, at this point of the game, I'm always in the back of my mind, what am I going to ask Coach? What went well, what didn't. But there are a lot of pieces here tonight that I think have gone well. I think there are pieces you can build on for DCG next week.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line. England gets the handoff. He'll go off left guard, but a flag from behind the play, and it looks like possibly holding coming in. With 8:01 in the fourth quarter, the clock will stop as the Bobcats are looking for their first offensive touchdown of the game.
And it's the other side of the line. It's all the stuff that just ridiculousness. We just don't need it.
Well, this will back the Bobcats up to a 1st and goal from the 14.
Personal chop block.
No. So, nearly out of the Ethington Heating and Cooling red zone at the 19 now on the 15-yard penalty.
Verdinias and Macias, one went low, one went high.
Maybe after the game, we should implement a new thing, like we get to high-low Dave on our way back to the vehicle.
Humble Braga.
Yeah.
It'll be humble blown-out knee Braga.
1st and goal from the 19. I don't wish that upon you, Dave.
No, but I do want to tackle him.
Niehaus will scramble ahead for a couple of yards as he looked to drop back and faked like he was going to go through the air and then scrambles up the middle. It's a gain of 2 to the 17.
And this is just one where you just want to complete a drive. They just have not been able to complete drives here tonight.
Nor last week.
Right, and this week, again, it was 49-0 last week. It's 48-7 here tonight, but it feels, at least from my perspective,
100%.
like a much better effort tonight.
Yep, the effort, a little more juice out there, the physicality. Niehaus keeps it himself after he fakes the handoff to England, goes off of left tackle, and he's down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. So 3rd and goal from the 13, gain of 5.
And this is, where do you go? What do you do? And one of the
Jacob Hayes, tight end seam.
I think you got to do it quick, because one of the issues with the pass game out of this offense is everything's a play action, so everything is slow to develop.
Yeah.
There is no just quick pass.
3rd and goal. They go to Jacob Hayes, turns around and leveled at the 4-yard line. It's a gain of 9. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 4, and this is where they initially had 1st and goal from the 4-yard line, but a illegal chop block took it back to the 19. And so 4th and goal from the 4. The Bobcats going to keep the offense out there and go for it. Down 48-7, late 4th quarter.
And that's about as quick of a pass as we have in that offense. And really, the 2 completions by Niehaus tonight have not been that full drop. It's been that real quick, that 4-yard completion, the hook and lateral at near the end of the half, and then that 9-yard right there.
Niehaus will keep it himself. He's going to dive for the end zone. Got it. Touchdown. 4th and goal from the 4. Niehaus punches it in for the first offensive touchdown of the night with 5:34, 4th quarter, 48-13.
The junior quarterback gets his lucky number 7. He has 87 yards on 21 carries here tonight, and his first score looks a lot more like himself here tonight. Does have the fumble on the sack, but beyond that, he's been pretty clean all night long.
And the PAT is blocked as Aaron Zimbrano went for it. It is no good. 48-13, 5:34, 4th quarter. Jamison Niehaus, like Dylan mentioned, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season into the end zone on KFJB-TV.
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East Southridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Well, it won't mean a lot in the end as far as the scoreboard goes, but a 4-yard rushing touchdown for Jamison Niehaus leaves a much better taste in your mouth at the end of this one, being able to punch it in on 4th and goal from the 4, and kind of one of those feel-good drives to end the game. You like what you see there for the offense.
Well, and you really have 3 very similar similar matched opponents in a row. You have Cedar Rapids Kennedy, you have Waukee, and then next week you have DCG. All right kind of in same level of talent. And if they can build off of this after laying an egg last week, doing some good things this week, can you even be better prepared for DCG next week?
Bobcats will have Ushalungu tee it up and kick it away down to the 15-yard line where it is caught by Jai White. And he'll come up the near side, breaking a few tackles, breaks out of a Giles Smith tackle before he's finally driven down by the Bobcats as he works all the way up to the 34-yard line. And Zane Moore is the man to bring him down. So 5:15 and counting with a running clock. Bobcats trailing 48-13. Waukee offense will be back there out on the football field.
And there are definitely some subs for the Cats out there. Terry Wyant's in the back. Bennett Ricken is back there. You get Jordan Haynes. Haynes is out there along with Faith Bannison, the junior. That's your new defensive backfield.
Reserves into the game for the Waukee offense as well. New quarterback Hunter Wilson, the senior quarterback, hands off to a stretch play to the far side of the field and going around the edge. It is Ethan Fitch, the junior running back. He is going to get over midfield into Bobcat territory, but finally rid out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Field flipping run right there.
And that's one of our other piece of our halftime conversation about depth. You just look at that. That's one of the bigger differences, again, between that metro area and the surrounding 5A schools.
4 wide receivers set for the backup quarterback. He'll fire quickly out to the near side as it is caught by Ahmed Umovich, and he's going to pick up a first down. It's an 11-yard pickup through the air as the quarterback Hunter Wilson with a dart out to the near side.
Just a nice quick pitch and catch. Cats are going to have to do something, flip over to that top side. They had 2 defenders for 3 receivers there.
Handoff right up the gut. Going again is Fitch, and he breaks out of a tackle. He's down to the 10-yard line before he's driven down. And a late flag is going to fly in as one of the Bobcats hit the turf late. Jordan Haynes kind of hit the turf late, so I'm not sure if a roughing call going to be coming here, but
it looks like it's going to be against the Cats.
All right. So a horse collar tackle on Faith Bannison, and that will move the ball half the distance to the goal, now to the 5-yard line. First and goal at the 5 for the Waukee Warrior backups here with 3:15 and counting, fourth quarter. Wilson will put his tight end in motion, and he'll be used to block. And they'll run it to the far side with the running back in Fitch, and he dives to the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, 5-yard touchdown run for the backup in Ethan Fitch.
And just nothing that the Cats can do. They're undersized, getting moved around up there. And Fitch does for the backup, he does a really nice job of staying on the hip of his blocker. He rides that hip and is able to just go right with that block into the end zone. Really have been impressed with his few opportunities here in this drive.
Wyatt Robinson on for the PAT. It is a low line drive, but sneaks over the upright, and it is good to make it 54-13, fourth quarter. Fitch with the 5-yard run on first and goal from the 5, and it makes it 55-13 after the PAT. You're watching Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
Refinance your auto loan with Members First Community Credit Union. For a limited time, refinance your auto loan from another lender and receive 1% cash back up to $500. Scan the QR code to apply online. Call us or visit a Members First branch.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is powered by Central State Bank, locations in Ames, State Center, and West Des Moines. Eye Care Associates of Marshalltown, Conrad, and Toledo. Hy-Vee of Marshalltown. It pays to perk with Hy-Vee perks. And Legends American Grill, Marshalltown Steakhouse.
3:02 remaining in our football game in week number 6, 55-13. Waukee now leading. Our kickoff all brought to you by Sentry 21, Marshalltown's #1 home team, the polyrealestateteam.com. So the Bobcats will have one more offensive possession before this is all said and done here tonight. The Bobcats will fall to 3-3 on the season. Waukee will go to 2-4 with the victory here tonight. But again, that record deceiving with how good of opponents they played for the first 5 weeks of the season. Giles Smith on the return, reverses field, comes up near side, and he's pushed out of bounds just over the 45-yard line. Good return by Giles Smith for the Bobcats as the sophomore started at corner here tonight and has got a good amount of playing time as the season has gone along.
Yeah, he's had a tough night, especially in the second half, getting beat on big pass plays over his head. But you do love to see he hasn't hung his head. He's given max effort. There's going to be those times, especially as an underclassman in your first year of playing a lot of varsity football.
They got some Snoop Dogg playing for you now. They are really right in your wheelhouse.
They
college
are
clubbing
right
days.
in my wheelhouse.
Jamison Niehaus fakes the pitch and comes near side as he reverses and up to the 49-yard line. 2-yard run for Jamison Niehaus in the Bobcat offense with just 2 minutes to operate in the game.
You look here of what the Cats are going to do. Are they going to try to, get that touchdown here before, or are they just going to kind of get out of here? And it feels like they're a little bit more on the let's get out of here. We're not going to rush to try to score.
What are we going to get to eat after the game if we have time?
I don't know. Whatever Todd's buying. He doesn't know yet.
Pitch to Smitherman around the edge. He'll go to the far side of the field. He might have enough for the first down, and I believe he does. Up to the 43-yard line. Looks to be enough to move the sticks, and it will, as we count just under 90 seconds to go.
Well, we talked last week is the Cats didn't cross 100 yards of rushing. They're back up to right around their season average. They're right around 250 yards currently rushing the football.
Yeah, that's not been the problem here tonight for the most part. A couple drives were stalled out, but turnovers end around to England. Out of the slot back, he gets the handoff, and he'll get up to the 36-yard line. 70-yard pickup on first down, brings up a short second. A great environment here tonight. Senior night for Waukee as they'll win this one. Bobcats looking like they'll run maybe one more play here. Bring a man in motion. Niehaus will pitch out to England near side, and he'll get stuffed, pushed back at the line of scrimmage. Actually stopped for a loss of a gain, or a loss of about 2 yards. Setting up third down and nearly 6 yards to go, and I believe that's going to do it here for the Bobcats. As the final 10 seconds going to run off the clock.
Good to see, though, even though a loss, that Kyle Smith was out there in that last drive after being a little bit hobbled earlier in the fourth quarter.
And the clock will hit 0, and that'll wrap up week number 6. The Waukee Warriors go to 2-4. The Bobcats drop to 3-3. 55-13. The Warriors top the Bobcats here tonight.
Yeah, it was about a 75. Some drives were about 75% complete. Need to finish off some drives. Defensively, the Cats really couldn't do anything with this Waukee offense. But offensively, I felt like we left some touchdowns out there. There were some things we did better than we did last week. Just could not finish some key drives. Had a couple things go against us. But tonight versus last week, I thought the fight was there in much more of a multitude than last time.
Well, coming up, it is the Locker Room Reports, all presented by Wells Fargo Advisors. We'll recap this one. We'll go over our final stat line. We'll also have our post-game chat with head coach Adam Goodman. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, powered by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
From preschool to graduation day, Marshalltown Community School District prepares students for success in a global world. Embrace the lead with curriculum that prepares students for tomorrow's challenges, giving your child unmatched college and career advantages. Embrace the lead by developing talents beyond the classroom through extracurricular opportunities and by focusing on student well-being and whole child development. Create a global learning community right here in Marshalltown. Learn more at marshalltown.k12.ia.us.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown. With their extensive inventory, you're sure to make a winning selection when you shop McGregor's for your bedroom, living room, and dining room furnishings. McGregor's has the right play for every room in your home. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is proud to be your locally owned and operated furniture store since 1896 and very proud to support Bobcat Athletics again this season. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social. And that's just on the inside. Step outside and enjoy patio life at Gutter Point with drinks, shuffleboard, live music, and fun atmosphere. Follow Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to plan your next visit to the place for fun.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, powered by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Welcome into the Locker Room Reports. Brandon Lewis with you here at Waukee High School Final. Up on the Marshalltown Hy-Vee scoreboard, Waukee 55-13. Bobcats fall to 3-3 with the loss. As coming up next week, it is at home against DCG. Meanwhile, the Waukee Warriors go to 2-4 with the victory tonight. They are at Dowling next week. Let's run over our second half recap. 34-7 is where we stood at halftime. At halftime, Bobcats would punt it away, and then a 40-yard drive. But Waukee was punched in by a 31-yard touchdown reception as Beckett Baker was able to team up with his wide receiver in Boston Onstadt, and that would make it 41-7 with 9:22 to go in the third quarter. Bobcats would punt on their next drive, and then Waukee would respond right again on a big drive as Baker again, another touchdown pass. This time he finds O'Connor for a 28-yard strike with 4:26 third quarter to make it 48-7. Bobcats, though, would on their next drive answer with a score in the fourth quarter. It was 4th and goal from the 4, and Jamison Niehaus with a 4-yard rushing touchdown punches it in, 48-13 at that point. A late run by Waukee with 3:02 to go in the game by Ethan Fitch. It was from 5 yards out, will be the final score of the night, making it 55-13 as we take a look at the replay here, as that was our final score of the night, and that is week number 6 will come to an end for the Marshalltown Bobcats, again falling 3-3 on the season. Waukee is now 2-4. Coming up on the Locker Room Report, all powered by Wells Fargo Advisors. We'll not let you know who are our athletes of the week, and also we will have our Lily Mae Sweet Play of the Game coming up next. We'll have our post-game chat with head coach Adam Goodman. You're watching Bobcat Football on KFJB-TV.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East Southridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is powered by Lennox Employees Credit Union, LennoxECU.com. Marshalltown Area Chamber, meetinmarshalltown.com. Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction. And the Marshalltown School District. Embrace the lead.
Welcome back to Waukee on a football Friday night on KFJB-TV. Head coach Adam Goodman now standing by with Dylan Doze. Take it away.
Thank you, Brandon. In with Coach Adam Goodman. Coach, lopsided score tonight. Thought there was a bit more energy than there was last Friday. Looking at what did you see tonight from a positive perspective?
Well, I think you can go back to the beginning of the game. You know, they scored very quickly to start the game, and then our special teams responded in a big way. You know, we made some key blocks on that, and Aiden returned it, and then, you know, that's exactly what we're asking out of them. And, you know, they scored again, and then I think you could visually kind of see our body language went down, and you can't have that. And I think our kids are still in the learning process, you know, how to handle things mentally and when you face adversity, and I think you know, they're getting better. It's a tough thing, much easier said than done, but you know, I think we some kids really got after it from a physical side tonight. I think kids really fought. You know, I think you know, even when things did go bad, you know, kids were still out there doing that. We just got to be a little more consistent.
And you look at that, really, that consistency is a big deal. Last week didn't cross that 100 yards rushing. Tonight we're in that 250 range, and it seemed there was a lot of like 70% completed drives. There's a handful of drives, if it was one play here or there, just couldn't quite get it across the end zone. When you look at building off of growth from last week to this week, as you look forward to DCG, what is that next step to turn those decent drives into scoring drives?
Yeah, I think, you know, specifically to tonight, a lot of, you know, at least two that I can think of, drive killers is what we call them. Were really kind of out of our control. You know, I think our kids executed on a few plays. You know, it got the first down, and then it got called back for I think it was illegal motion or something like that. You know, that's out of our control, and that's what we talk about, how to handle that adversity and flush it and keep going. And you know, I think there was another one that was kind of questionable that again is out of our control. But you know, I think when you look back to you know, what we're doing, we don't put ourselves in that position if we protect well enough. You know, and you know, you got to come off the football and you can't stop your feet at contact. I think that's another thing we've got to get very good at. And you know, I'm sure we'll find a lot more on film.
Yeah, and that's appreciate it. And you know, looking at it, is step up in intensity this week. Anticipate another step up next week. Going back, when you look at film, really, what's the thing that you feel like you need to do in this next 3 games from a team perspective? If you can just jump up and really focus on one.
On one, oh gosh. I think how about this? I think defensively, you know, we've got to tackle better, and I think you can throw that into the special teams category as well. Special teams, we got to be crisper, and I think that last PAT, you know, 6 or 7 of our guys just kind of took it off, and that's unacceptable. And then, like I just said, offensively, we got to come off the ball low with our backs flat and keep moving our feet.
Thank you, Adam. Back to you, Brandon.
All right, thanks, Dylan. That is our post-game chat with head coach Adam Goodman. Here on the Locker Room Report, we'll also get a scoreboard update when we come back. You're watching Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East Southridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, powered by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Back into the Locker Room Report on KFJB-TV. Now time for a scoreboard update, all presented by Central State Bank. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you. Locations in Ames, State Center, and in West Des Moines. Thanks to Jeff Brooks back at our radio studios. Final here tonight. Big win for Grundy Center. They take down South Hardin 21-12. Fort Dodge tops Spencer 47-28. Nick Mosier, the head coach for Fort Dodge. He was a starting safety at Iowa State, as one of his backups was a coach across the way here tonight in Gabe Baker. Johnston tops Ankeny 30-21. Newton on top of Pella. A final close one. Good game. Newton tops Pella 35-33. Norwalk downs Des Moines East 63-18. Final Valley over Centennial. A little bit bigger of a margin than we thought maybe. 24-7 Centennial dropped by Valley here tonight. Last update we had, Ames was leading Council Bluffs Lincoln 28-21 in the third quarter. Waukee Northwest shuts out Ottumwa 70-0. The final score there. West Marshall drops Panorama tonight 51-7. Newman Catholic 42-7. They take down BCLUW. And also, last update we had, Williamsburg was leading Nevada 12-7 at that point. That is the scoreboard update on a football Friday night around the state of Iowa, all brought to you by Central State Bank. Now time for our Athletes of the Week, all presented by Opa Grill of Marshalltown. Greek and traditional favorites. All you have to say is Opa. Well, our Athletes of the Week this past week for the Marshalltown Bobcats, our female Athlete of the Week, Kinsley Bowie, helped lead the Bobcats to a 3-1 win over Mason City last week and recorded a team-high 16 kills, 2 and 3 last weekend at the tournament. And then on Tuesday night, Bobcats were able to top Des Moines North 3-0 on the road, as you saw that one here on KFJB-TV. Our male Athlete of the Week last week was Joe Griesel, as the sophomore led the Cats in all three matches a week ago. Top 10 finish at the Valley Golf Classic with a round of 71 and a first-place medalist finish with a score of 34 in a win against Mason City. And then this week, he was the conference champion in the Iowa Alliance Conference Tournament in postseason play. So congrats to our Athletes of the Week, as they are awarded a $25 gift certificate to Opa Grill in Marshalltown and a Athlete of the Week t-shirt from Adlet Engraving and Screen Print in Marshalltown. You're locked into the Locker Room Report. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Come to Opa Grill in Marshalltown for made fresh family recipes handed down for generations. Treat yourself to gyros, pasticcio, Italian pasta dishes, burgers, salmon, homemade soups, and fresh salads. Enjoy a nice glass of wine or a cold glass of beer. Opa Grill has a great variety of American, Greek, and Italian dishes. Something to make everyone in your party say Opa. Open 11 to 8 Monday through Friday, 11 to 3 Saturday, closed Sundays. At the corner of Boone and Center Streets in Marshalltown. DoorDash delivery available. Opa.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, powered by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Transportation for today's game on KFJB-TV, provided by Carl Auto Group in Marshalltown. Carl is your dealer for life. Now time for our sweet play of the game, all presented by Lily Mae Chocolates, handmade hand dipped since 1939. Always open at lilymaechocolates.com. Well, Aiden Smitherman had a big play here tonight. He had a kickoff return for a touchdown of 94 yards. But, boy, I tell you what, one of the biggest moments of the game came from our Lily Mae sweet play of the game. Really gave some Bobcats some juice and some momentum early on here as the quarterback in Beckett Baker rolled out. He had his tight end wide open, but passed to the back of the end zone, and Drake Gersma said, "No, thank you. I'll have that." It was the second pick of the season for the Marshalltown Bobcat defense, his first of the season. I really thought that Drake Gersma was one of the really bright spots here tonight. I thought he had a nice game rushing and defensively as well with that interception in the end zone. Big moment right there for the Cats. They were fired up.
Yeah, he read the eyes of Baker beautifully. I still watching that clip there of why he didn't throw it out to the flat, but Drake read his eyes, dropped back into coverage right in front of Jacobson, went up and grabbed it, got his first pick of the year. Great play by Drake.
Yeah, that is our play of the game. Sweet play of the game, all presented by Lily Mae Chocolates. Always open at lilymaechocolate.com. We'll take one final timeout, and we'll be back to wrap up week number 6 and let you know who the Bobcats take on Week 7. This is Bobcat football. You're locked into the Locker Room Report presented by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, powered by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Well, week number 6, Bobcats again. Final score on the Hy-Vee Marshalltown scoreboard, 55-13. The final score is Waukee improves to 2-4 on the year. Bobcats fall to 3-3. And coming up next week for the Marshalltown Bobcat football squad, they'll be back at home against Dallas Center Grimes. Kickoff is at 7. We'll start up the pregame show at 6 o'clock. Also, don't miss Bobcat Live coming up on Thursday night. Dylan Doze will be your host from Wayward Social in Marshalltown. Our next volleyball broadcast is coming up October 14th at 7:15 as Marshalltown will be on the road at Des Moines East. Final thoughts here tonight, Dylan.
I thought, there are no moral victories, but I feel like if they would have just finished a couple drives, this is a 1-2 score game in this second half. So I think it's something to build on. I think if they can come and make the same growth, that they take that same step of growth that they did last week to this week, I think it'll be a game next week against Dallas Center Grimes.
Well, again, the Bobcats fall here tonight, 55-13, your final score. Thanks so much for joining us here on KFJB-TV, and thanks so much to our KFJB-TV crew, even Keith Stewart, who was not on site, but he was in our chat
and
all night long. Probably annoying a few people in the chat. Just going to be honest. I saw some comments, Keith. We all saw it. Anyway, big shout-out, though. I saw in the live comment also Annette from Arizona, I believe, was watching. So, anyway, big shout-out to her and appreciate the support. Thanks so much to our KFJB-TV crew. Jeff Brooks back in the radio studios. Xavier Doze on stats here tonight. As on our camera coverage, the Todd Father and Elijah Bond. Our producer on site, David Braga. For Dylan Doze, I'm Brandon Lewis. You've been watching week number 6. Bobcats fall on the road at Waukee. Final score 55-13. You've been watching Your Home for the Cats and listening on News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and right here on KFJB-TV.
Today's game on KFJB-TV is sponsored by First Rate Real Estate, Adland Engraving and Screen Print Company, Assured Partners, Brown's Shoe Fit, Central State Bank, your Marshalltown Dairy Queens, Eye Care Associates, Hy-Vee Marshalltown, Legends American Grill, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, Marshalltown School District, McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, Sandvik Enterprises, Scooters, Marshalltown, Sports Plus, State Farm, Tyler Pashong Agency, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors,